We are back with a double header tonight. We are in for both of these Western Conference NBA Cup qualifying matchups, but we will begin with the Phoenix Suns taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, the one-loss Oklahoma City Thunder. It's going to be interesting to see how Phoenix is going to be able to hold up against them, considering they are down Devin Booker, they are down Jalen Green, and so we got a lot to go over. So let's get right into it. Please, hold your applause. We are back here tonight, and yes, we are here for both games. We're going to see how far we can make it, because I do think we might get a blowout here tonight. Now, it could be, obviously, the Thunder, who are winning on average by, I think, 15, 16 points per game this season, going up against an injured Phoenix Suns team. No Devin Booker tonight. We will start with the Phoenix Suns here tonight. No Devin Booker, unfortunately. We are in Phoenix, I believe, right? So we usually start with the away team. We're going to start with the away team again. Devin Booker, I thought he was going to play today. I know he's been targeting today's matchup in order to get to it. It is an NBA Cup game. I'm sure he wanted to come out and compete and play. He's listed as questionable coming into today's game. He's been out with a groin injury. And I thought, okay, D-Book. I see you. You're trying to come back. I know it's going to be against obviously the best team in the league, and the next dynasty in the league, in the Oklahoma City Thunder, the way their team has been constructed. And it's like, okay, I respect that. You're going to come back and come back from injury and go up against them. And then as we got closer to tip-off, I'm checking online, I'm checking the injury reports, and they're like, yeah, he's questionable. He's questionable. He's going to go out there and warm up a little bit. He's questionable. I thought, okay, I think he's going to play, because usually, as a Knicks fan, when you're questionable, that means like, oh, I'm coming, I'm back, I'm here, right? And when we started to hear like, oh, he's going to be questionable for Saturday, a couple days ago, not Saturday, what's today? Today is Wednesday. We heard Monday, I think was the last time we covered the Suns, he might be questionable. Now, I'm not going to say anything about Devin Booker, he's out with a groin strain. I would say just rule yourself out for tonight. Like, nah, let's not come back against this team. This is a tough team to come back against, right? Let's not do that. But here we are. Devin Booker will not be playing today. He is out with injury, so unfortunately, we're going to have to move right past Devin Booker, and we're going to get to, oh, that's right, Jalen Green is also out today. Now, Jalen Green's been out for a while. I think he's only played 2 or 3 games so far this year, out with an injury for the most part of this season. Unfortunately for him and the Suns and Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns are actually decent this year. They're 14-10. They had a nice win against the Minnesota Timberwolves, down Devin Booker, down Jalen Green. As we get to the rest of the roster, we'll talk about a lot of the players who are actually contributing to them winning basketball games right now. But they're pretty good, pretty well constructed. The vibes have returned to Phoenix after the Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal experience seemed to deteriorate a lot of what was previously built for this Suns team. And then, we could even go a little bit further and talk about the ownership change, also deteriorating a lot of what was built up there in Phoenix. But they're starting to get back to being a competently run organization again. They had a little bit of a rocky start with the new ownership and some reckless moves being made, but starting to build themselves back up. And the guy we could point to for starting to build the vibes back up is actually Dylan the Villain Brooks. And this is just a very appropriate picture for him. Obviously, he hasn't worn a Grizzlies jersey in a couple of years now. But the hair kind of forming itself into the horns in this screenshot right here. It was just perfect. Had to go with this one. Had to, because he is Dylan the Villain. He is a nuisance out there. He will go on the other team's nerves. It's going to be interesting because he has been the go-to guy with the 2 top scorers out with injury. David Oss Jr., what's up, David? I'm tired about all this Thunder talk. You want them in the chip? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go up against them. I want to see Phoenix knock them out. Every time I watch the Thunder, I want to see a team knock them down. I want to see what does it take for the Thunder to actually lose a basketball game. They've only lost one game, and it was a game in which they started the rest on their laurels, and Portland took it right to them. They lost a 20-point lead in that game. So, that's the one game they lost. They just kind of fell asleep, and then Portland took advantage and then had a nice, mighty comeback, a 20-point deficit for them, and they came back and beat the Thunder. That's been their one loss this year. So I want to, what does it take to actually knock the Thunder off? So can Phoenix do it? If they don't, they move on to the next round where the Lakers will be taking on the Spurs. Whoever wins that game, can they knock the Oklahoma City Thunder off? And then obviously when you get to the finals, when they face the Knicks, because the Knicks will be there, can the Knicks knock the Thunder off? So it'll be interesting. Fungpe, what's up, Fungpe? Slapped your like, because you're dedicated a doubleheader. We'll see how far we make it. I do think one of these games will be a blowout. It might be this game, but either way, we're going to stay live. We're going to go as late into the night as we can, and we'll see how it goes. But Dillon Brooks, let's get to Dillon Brooks. 22.3 points per game for Dillon the Villain, who's kind of reinvented himself last year and the last couple of years in his career, was kind of just a spot-up shooter and could attack a closeout every now and again. This year is only 31% from three. He was over 40 last year playing with the Houston Rockets in what felt like a career year, a reintroduction to the league of like, no, actually, NBA Twitter wanted to ship me off to China. Actually, I'm one of the most valuable role players in the league. Fantastic 3-and-D player. This year, he's reinvented himself yet again, kind of had to reinvent himself with all the injuries that the Suns have dealt with to start the year. 46% from the field, living out of the mid-range. Working his way into that mid-range area, knocking down fall-away jumpers after fall-away jumpers. We just watched the Phoenix Suns take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Dillon the Villain Brooks, while the efficiency wasn't there in that game, he would consistently walk his matchup down into the mid-range, into that post area, hit him with a little Jordan half-turn, fall-away jumper, and knocked it down what felt like every single time. So Dillon Brooks has reinvented himself. He's played fantastically. I mean, he's still giving you kind of the other things you normally give you. He's not going to play make a ton. Once the ball's in his hands, probably going to look to shoot it or get off of it and then allow somebody else to run the offense. But you got to tip your cap to what Dillon Brooks is doing right now. He's allowed this Phoenix Suns team to be 14-10. They're playing hard. They're playing together. The vibes have returned. And it's because of the way this guy has played and come into this team and helped establish a baseline culture for this team right now. And guys like Mark Williams have picked that up and ran with it. 12.7 points so far, 8.7 rebounds. He's coming off a fantastic game against the Timberwolves and when he really took it to Rudy Gobert. So much so that Rudy Gobert had to give him a cheap shot and got the flagrant 2, and he got Rudy Gobert up out of there. But he's been pretty damn good. He even knocked down a three-point shot. As a matter of fact, I got to update the three-point percentage to now 100%. I didn't do that. He knocked down a three-point shot in that Timberwolves game because he was feeling it, and it was in the flow of the offense. It wasn't a heave. They swung the ball around. They handed it off to Mark Williams in the corner. He said, you know what? I'm firing it away, and he knocked it down. So Mark Williams has been having a really nice season for him, and as I wrote down here, the most important stat for Williams this season is that he's played 19 of the 23 games so far. Now that is 20 of the 24 games so far. Those were written before the Timberwolves game. So he's played 20 of the 24 games so far. He's only missed 4 games so far this year. Pretty damn impressive year for Mark Williams after a really embarrassing moment where the LA Lakers tried to trade for him, and then after the trade was agreed to, they rescinded the trade because they got his injury report, his physical, and they were like, nah, let's get him out of there. Vic, what's up, Vic? Appreciate you, brother. Justice's dad. What's up, Justice's dad? So really, really interesting year for Mark Williams, where I think he's actually stepped up to be the player that I think a lot of people had always thought was in there, but just needed to get healthy, needed to be on the court, needed to actually play. At only 23 years old, really solid pickup for the Suns. They had the moment in time to actually take a risk, take a flyer on Mark Williams. Can he be healthy? Can he get right? Because the talent was always there. Everybody knew the talent was always there. It's part of the reason why the Lakers were interested in trading for him anyway. But, you got to play. And so far, he's playing. When he has played, he's looked pretty good. But it's just all about being on the court. It's about being available. That, the saying is the best ability is availability. And so far, he's been available for them. Oda Austin, what's up, Oda? How's it going, brother? How's it going? We get to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen is a really solid and interesting basketball player because it feels like the rest of the league, including me, has just kind of put him to the wayside of like, hey, Grayson Allen, you watch the Suns and then you remember he's out there. And then you remember he's one of the best three-point shooters in the league at 42.2%. He's also not a bad ball handler, not bad. Can can run a little bit of the pick and roll. He's averaging over 17 points per game, so he's still getting buckets. Obviously he had not a tumultuous start to his career, but a controversial start to his career. He's always been a bit of a controversial figure in the NBA world, going back to his college days in Duke, with the purposeful tripping, taking guys out of the air and injuring guys. Remember, he injured Alex Caruso when Caruso was back on the Bulls, and that became a big deal and whatnot about how dirty Grayson Allen actually was. And it felt like his reputation was absolutely in the dirt. And he's kind of just quietly grown up and been solid and hasn't gotten into any kind of fracas out there in Phoenix. He's just been really good. And again, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He's increasing his ball handling responsibilities. Again, with all of the injuries that Phoenix has dealt with, a lot of these guys have had to step up and take on much more responsibility in their role. So a guy like Grayson Allen will sometimes play point guard for them when they send another guy we'll get to, Colin Gillespie, to the bench, because this is a team that has just been rocking without a point guard for a couple of years. Now, thankfully, maybe they found a point guard they can rely on for now. But when they get Devin Booker back, when they get Jalen Green back, guys like Grayson Allen will take the things that they've learned in this stretch here, where they've had to do more ball handling responsibility, and it'll allow him to flourish a little bit more playing alongside those guys and take a lot of the burden off of them. And so hopefully everything will kind of congeal together and it become a much more fruitful basketball companionship between these four guys. It's going to be really interesting to see this team fully healthy, because they just haven't been that so far this year. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that tonight. We get to Nick Richards off the bench, who I believe is still out with an injury. Actually, he's getting DNP CDs. That's what's happening. I forgot, right? He's not injured. He's just not playing. Phoenix is actually going to Oso Ighodaro off the bench. It's really interesting. We talked about the other day when they played the Timberwolves about how weird this roster construction was. It's part of the reason why I was really down on the Phoenix Suns this year, because the roster just didn't really make sense. They traded for Nick Richards last year at the deadline, and he was really solid for them as their starting big. And then they trade for that was the same year in which they drafted Oso Ighodaro, who's now getting the backup minutes behind Mark Williams. So they draft Oso Ighodaro, then they trade for Nick Richards, and then this summer they trade for Mark Williams, but then they draft Kaman Maluak. That's four bigs that they've gone out of their way to actually acquire, who all deserve kind of playing time. Nick Richards is the oldest of the four there, which is probably part of the reason why they're not going to go to him off the bench. Probably going to shop him around the deadline. He's a really solid, contributing backup big in this league. Last year, he averaged about 10 and 8 as the starter for the Phoenix Suns. Was solid, was really good, put up really, really good statistical numbers as a big. Probably going to be a really solid backup big in the league for a couple more years as he's going to start to age towards his 30s. But for Phoenix to not be able to find minutes for him, he's going to be up on that trade block because he definitely deserves to play. So it's a weird situation for the Suns with their bigs right now because, again, they took Kaman Maluak with the 10th overall pick, the big man out of Duke, and there's just really no time for him to play, right? They're going to have to open up some avenues for him. Justice's dad, what's up, Justice's dad? Has my knowledge beat by miles? I just watch a lot of basketball, brother. I don't know how much knowledge it is. I just be talking. We get over to Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal, one of the best 3-and-D wings in the league. 10.8 points per game, which is really good for a 3-and-D wing. He's not really going to give you much outside of that, outside of knocking down standstill threes and guarding up defensively. 41% from three-point range, really good. Most of his shots come from the three-point range. Not going to get much outside of that. I mean, he's your prototypical 3-and-D off the bench. One of the better ones in the league. But that's really much all he's going to give you. He's not really going to step outside his role. But he is elite in his role, which is exactly what you want. If you're going to get role players off the bench, get a guy who's absolutely dominant in their field on the court. Especially if you're going to get a specialist. Specialists don't really exist in the NBA anymore. Like, you need guys who could dribble, pass, and shoot. But if you're going to be a specialist, you have to be able to be one of the best at that thing, right? As Knicks fans, we know this about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, the only reason why he's still... I got my microphone under my tie. I just realized. The only reason why Mitchell Robinson is able to hang around in the NBA is because he's literally one of, if not the best, rebounding big man in the NBA, or offensive rebounding big man in the NBA. So that's his niche, that's his field, that's his specialty. And in order for him to actually be effective as an NBA basketball player, he has to be the best. And he's elevated himself to be the best. Same with Royce O'Neal. He is one of, if not, he's not the, but one of the best 3-and-D wings, especially as a bench guy. Once we start limiting it to, okay, who are the best 3-and-D prototypical guys off the bench at the wing position, Royce O'Neal's name is going to come up. Doug Fresh, what's up, Doug Fresh? Salvador Chavez, what's up, Salvador? We get over to Colin Gillespie. Colin Gillespie is having a breakout year. Now, we got to witness the Colin Gillespie magic the other day. I was, not that I wasn't a believer, but I was like, I got to see this with my own eyes. Where did Colin Gillespie come from? Now, I know Colin Gillespie from college, Villanova point guard. I do believe that he was the backup point guard. He was the freshman point guard during Brunson, Bridges, and DiVincenzo's last year at Villanova. If I remember correctly, he was the backup point guard on that team, right? He was the young freshman. So he has some ties to our Nova Knicks. Maybe the Knicks might be interested at some point in Colin Gillespie. But at 6'1", probably not, just because they have more than enough small guards. Susan, what's up, Susan? But Gillespie so far this year having a breakout year. Like, he is announcing himself like, no, I'm a legit NBA player at a time where I think a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, that young, small point guard from Villanova with no real athleticism and can't really create his own shot. I mean, he's introducing himself to the league at 26 years old here, a little bit of a late bloomer, but he's like, nah, I'm arrived. I'm good. I could be a point guard in this league, whether that's a starter or a backup or whatever, but I'm a rotational guy. I'm going to make myself some money. I'm going to hang around for a little bit here, and I'm going to get actual playing time because I'm good, right? 13.3 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 5 assists, and, his rise as a player, it's no coincidence that coincides with the Phoenix Suns playing really, really well. They needed another point guard on this team. They needed somebody to actually not just facilitate, because Booker can do that, Green can do that, right? They have players who can facilitate on the team, but they need an organizer. They need a leader at the point guard position, somebody who is a floor general who can point things out and get everybody in position, then deliver the ball to their best player in a spot where they want it, right? That is what a floor general is about. It's not always about racking up the assist numbers. It's about putting guys in spots in which they can be successful and then getting out of the way when it's time to get out of the way and taking over when it's time to take over. 13.3 points per game, 5 assists for him, only 1.8 turnovers. He's doing a really good job of not turning the ball over. But this number right here is really important, 43% from the field. As a point guard, as a lead guard, you need to be able to knock down the perimeter shot. Like I said, the league has gone away from specialists. Everybody at this point, including, majority of big men, need to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot. You need to be able to run an offense and be involved in an offense, even outside on the perimeter with handoff games and setting screens and rolling and operating out of the short roll. So everybody needs to be involved and have an understanding of what it's like to play out on the perimeter. And a guy like Colin Gillespie, unless you're going to be able to knock down threes at a high rate, you probably were never going to be able to get playing time as a 6'1" point guard. So the fact that he's gotten that shot up there and the fact that he's sped up his shooting is a big deal, because going back to his days in college, he used to have a little bit of a wind-up with a shot, a little bit of a hitch in it, and he sped it up and gotten it to the point where he could actually get it off in NBA games against real athletes. So shout out to Colin Gillespie, because he's been a revelation for the Phoenix Suns so far this year. And we're going to get to Ryan Dunn, the last guy we're going to cover here, off the bench for the Phoenix Suns. He's in his second year, 6'7" wing. He was drafted as a guy who had immense defensive potential. He was fantastic in college. Literally, the reason he got drafted is because he was seen as a special defender. The issue with Ryan Dunn, the reason why he didn't go higher in the draft, is because there's also an other side of the court, which is arguably more important than being a good defender, is also like putting that orange ball inside of the orange hoop. That's also really important. So Ryan Dunn really struggles at that part of basketball. He's only shooting 32% from three. This is the big issue for Ryan Dunn. He's got to be able to get that three-point shot up. He's got to get to a point where he can be a consistent 3-and-D guy. And then obviously also expand his game. He's big, strong, he's athletic, so he can attack the rim and finish in the paint. That's where his 8 points per game come usually, is getting out in transition, utilizing his defense to cause turnovers, be a havoc on the defensive end, get his team out and running, play out in transition. That's where his scoring can come into play. But we watched in the other game, he missed a couple of bunnies. Not always the most consistent player. He is only 22 years old. He's in his second league, so still has a ton of time in order to continue to develop his game. Like we just talked about Colin Gillespie, who really hasn't introduced himself to the NBA until he was 26 years old. So, Ryan Dunn is going to have a little bit of time here to kind of figure himself out. But we talk about it all the time. The NBA is a fast-paced, moving league, right? There's a new crop of players, 60 new players, including undrafted free agents, who are making their way into the league next year. So if you're not one of the better guys who are, these NBA rookies are going to come in and they're going to demand playing time, right? So if you're Ryan Dunn going into year 3 next year, you better at some point show some signs that you can knock down threes consistently. You better at some point show that you can improve maybe even these stats right here. Become a better rebounder, become a better playmaker, become a better ball handler. Say, I could operate out of the pick and roll a little bit, right? I've improved my off the bounds game enough where I continue to demand some playing times because they'll move on quickly if they bring in another young wing and they say, you know what, we're just going to invest in this guy now because Ryan Dunn, nice solid defender, but we need more out of you. So the NBA moves quickly. If you're Ryan Dunn, this is now the second year where there's slight improvement, for sure. There's slight improvement. The stats are up across the board, marginally, but they're still up. They're still up. They're still trending upwards. He's still developing in a positive direction. But this is the thing that is most important because if you can't knock down a three, he's not going to be able to garner playing time consistently throughout his career. Keenar said, not a Ryan Dunn guy. What's up, Keenar? Look, he would have been drafted higher if he could knock down a three. Right? It's part of the reason why I'm bringing it up so much. Low-key, what's up, low-key? Part of the reason why I'm bringing it up so much. If he can knock down a three, he would have been a lottery pick because the defense, it has been as advertised. He's a very good defender. Keenar said, zero chance of OKC wants to win, and I think SGA wants to get the money for his young teammates without big contracts. Yeah, I think he might just want the money because, who doesn't want an extra $500,000? These rich dudes, I know we all think you have more than enough money. You're not going to care about getting another $500,000. But if someone looked at me and they were like, $20, let's do this competition. Winner gets the $20. I'm competing as if that's $200,000. You know what I mean? $20 is $20. Loki said, do you think the Suns have a chance of winning? I do. Even without Devin Booker, even without Jalen Green. This is why you play the games. If they didn't have a chance, they'd throw the white flag in right now. They'd throw the towel in and they'd forfeit the game. I do think they have a chance. We get over to the Oklahoma City Thunder now. And the Thunder, they are the best team in the league. Record-wise, eye test-wise, however you want to signify it, they're the best team in the league. They're extremely well run. They draft well. Their roster from top to bottom filled with nothing but high-end talent in terms of, not necessarily all lottery picks or anything like that, but high-end talent in terms of there's upside to pretty much every guy that's on this roster that I think other teams would be like, oh, can we get Brooks Barnhizer? Can we get that guy? That guy's got some promise, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder are fantastic at acquiring talent, fantastic at developing talent, fantastic at knowing when to move on from players who maybe don't fit either their organizational philosophy or their team chemistry or just maybe haven't developed in the way they thought they would. They moved on from Josh Giddey the immediate time. They were like, oh, he's not going to be, he doesn't play the way we want him to play. He's not developing in the way that we need him to develop to in terms of being an off-ball player and knocking down a three-point shot consistently and showing up in the playoffs when we need you to show up in the playoffs, right? And they saw one playoff run with him, and they were like, yeah, time to move on from Josh Giddey, right? And they shipped him off to Chicago, and they brought in Alex Caruso because he brings you everything you need to bring in order to win a championship. The defense, the playmaking, the leadership, the smarts. He's a guy who's won a championship already with the Lakers, a veteran player for a really young team who's done it already, who you could have out in crunch time. Just brilliant move. Brilliant move. They didn't have to give up any of their picks. They didn't have to give up any of their picks in order to get Alex Caruso. They just said, hey, you want Josh Giddey? And they were like, yeah, send us Josh Giddey. Even at the time, people were like, you couldn't probably one first-round pick from the Oklahoma City Thunder. You gave up Alex Caruso, probably the missing piece of the championship. We've talked about it a million times. So enough talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder organization. The guy who really makes everything go, the guy who is really the reason why Oklahoma City is in the position they are in, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Even if Shai was just even if he was just simply a first or second team All-NBA player and was kind of on the borderline of being on the MVP ballot, if he finished fourth or fifth, the Thunder would be vulnerable. They would be beatable. We'd look at the Nuggets and be like, oh yeah, the Nuggets could beat them, no problem. Oh yeah, the Rockets could beat them, no problem. Hell, even top teams from the East could beat them. The Knicks could beat them. The Pistons could beat them. They wouldn't be this overwhelming force in the league right now. If SGA hadn't reached the level that he has reached this year. This is the most impressive so far. We're 25 games in. We're about a third of the way through the year. A little bit less than that, but about a third. A little bit less than a third of the way through the NBA season now. 33 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 6.4 assists. Only 1.7 turnovers for a guy who has the ball in his hands as often as he does. But this is the thing that is absolutely ridiculous so far this year. 55.5% from the field, 88% from the free throw line, 44% from three-point range. This is a number that is extremely scary for the rest of the league because it's like, okay, at one point you would give him a little bit of space, dare him to shoot step-back threes. But at this point in the year, you can't even do that anymore. So how do you guard him? You can't. You don't. This is the most efficient 33-point scoring season in NBA history from any player ever. That's going back to Jordan. That's going back to LeBron. I mean, I'm comparing now LeBron to a guard in SGA, and then you know what I mean. But this is the most efficient 32-plus point scoring season ever. More than Kobe, more than Jordan, more than Dwayne Wade, more than James Harden, more than any other great scoring guard you could think of. SGA has surpassed them so far this year based off of the efficiency that he's had this year. It is the most impressive modern basketball season we've seen probably since that James Harden season, right, which was like ridiculous. He was scoring 60 points. There was a week where he averaged like 43.5 points, something like that from Harden. And SGA has been absolutely historic so far this year. And oh, by the way, I think he hasn't played in 14 fourth quarters this year. That's how dominant the Oklahoma City Thunder have been. He's done all of that, and I believe only 32 or 33 minutes a game. It has been absolutely ridiculous. It's been absolutely ridiculous. He's walking his way over to the MVP trophy case yet again to add a second one this year. The only guy who seems to be able to make a case to go up against him is that dude down there in Denver, Nikola Jokic. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a battle again. It was a battle last year for the MVP trophy. SGA was able to win it out at the end. It's going to be a battle yet again here. And I'll tell you what, if Oklahoma City wins 74, 75 games this year, if not more than that, then they are definitely going to go ahead, hand this dude a second trophy, and he will deserve every single bit of it. You know, I said healthy Denver and Houston only competition. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a believer that I think the Knicks are competition for them. I think Denver and Houston are obviously competition for them. I think a team like Minnesota can maybe knock them off. I think a team, if the Lakers are one move away, if the Lakers could figure out their roster a little bit better, they might even be able to do it. I think the Spurs, if they get healthy, depending on how Dylan Harper continues to develop and the chemistry built up between Wembanyama and Fox towards the end of the year, I think they could scare OKC in a playoff series. I don't discount any team, right? Like, I don't think they're going to walk their way to a championship, but they are very obviously the clear favorite, and they should win the championship. But that doesn't mean they will. Doesn't mean they will. Power Stroke Syndicate, what's up, Power Stroke? Darnell, what's up, Darnell? I mean, SGA has made yet another leap this season. The reigning MVP got even better. There's really not much to say. You hope he has an off-shooting night. And so far this year, he just hasn't had off-shooting nights. So that's really all you could hope for with SGA. We get over to Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams is just coming back from the injury. How much time we got left? We got like 5 minutes before tip-off. So we're going to run through the OKC rotation here. We got Jalen Williams, who's just come back from the injury. He missed almost 20 games this season. He's back, rounding into form. I mean, the stats aren't going to jump out to you. He's just getting back. I believe tonight is his 6th game back. So there's that. We know what to expect from Jalen Williams already, though. Not much to say until we garner more information so far this year, but we know what to expect. King Kwan, what's up, King Kwan? Kinar said Jokic is the clear MVP, whether OKC wins 75 or not, but the media will probably F it up. I don't know how you could say that, Kinahara, when SGA is literally having the most impressive guard season we've ever seen. Literally, he's having the most efficient and best guard season we've ever seen. He's shooting 44% from 3, 55% from the field. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. There is no guarding that man. And if the Oklahoma City Thunder win 75 games, right, the MVP doesn't go to the best player in the league, which is Jokic. It goes to the best player that season, which will probably be SGA. We get to Chet Holmgren, who has been just awesome this year. He seems like he's also made a leap. He had a really tumultuous season last year in terms of dealing with injuries. He was in and out of the lineup. He was out of the lineup. Then he really hurt his hip. There were concerns about him coming back and what he was going to move like and feel like. But Chet Holmgren makes a leap this year, especially playing without Chet Holmgren. He was obviously the clear number 2. Now with not playing without Jalen Williams, was Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren jumped up to the clear number 2 guy in the rotation. 18.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 0.7 steals, 1.5 blocks, 2 turnovers. I mean, the stats almost speak for themselves for Chet Holmgren. He's a great rim protector. He gets to play alongside that Benedict Arnold, Isaiah Hartenstein, who we'll get to. 57.5% from the field, 78% from the foul line, 36% from three-point range. He's giving you all the things you want out of Chet Holmgren. He's knocking down the perimeter shot with some level of consistency. He's very consistent from inside the arc. He's knocking it down from the mid-range. He's attacking the basket. He's protecting the rim. He's actually rebounding the heck out of the ball so far with 8 a game, which is exactly what you would probably expect from him, right? He's having a healthy season as well, which is an important factor for a big man with his frame. Obviously tall, skinny. You're always going to worry about knees and strength and getting knocked down and foot injuries and stuff like that with big men of his size, hips as well. So he's healthy, which is obviously a great sign for him in the league. We get over to Lu Dort off the bench, and this man just loves to play prison ball. This man is going to foul the heck out of you, so much so that the officials are going to be like, I mean, we can't foul him out in the first quarter, so we're just going to allow him to get away with the physicality that he plays with. He's fantastic at being very physical with you. He's fantastic at hiding it at the right times in order to get away with the physicality. He's an incredibly smart and fantastic defender, even outside of how physical he can be and how much maybe he could even foul. 8 points per game, though. I will say the offense is taking a bit of a hit for Lu Dort. Only 31.2% from the field, under 40% from the field, only 31.2% from three-point range is not what you want to see from Lu Dort. Last year, he was over 40%, which really helped open up the offense for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The defense remains at the top level, but his consistency from three that he had last year has not carried over to this season yet. I mean, I think, he established some last year is that he can knock down the three. But the consistency just hasn't showed up so far this year. He's been feast or famine. He's either hitting a couple or he's not hitting anything. And that's sort of the offensive experience for Lu Dort so far this year. We get over to the Benedict Arnold. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything nice to say about this man. Traitor, a true Benedict Arnold. I have nothing nice to say. I don't want to say anything nice. I guess if you want an evaluation, he's one of the best defensive centers in the league. And the fact that he went over to the Death Star and joined the dark side over in Oklahoma City instead of trying to establish himself as his own person, I don't want to say anything nice about him. He's having a fantastic year. There, I said it. We're moving on. I have nothing nice to say about him. Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso is absolutely fantastic. I said down here, he's the elder statesman of the team. He seems to really pace himself here in the regular season. We know what he's capable of when it counts most. So, 35% from three, 40% from the field, only 5.7 points. Sometimes he's in the lineup. Sometimes he's out for the rest. He's old. 31 years old. He's an old man. He's the elder statesman of the team. Tonight is a game that counts. So we might see Alex Caruso really step up. We'll see. We get a case on Wallace. And I wrote down here, it's crazy that OKC found the perfect understudy for an aging Alex Caruso, right? Because you have Alex Caruso in there, and then you bring in Case on Wallace, and it's like, didn't this guy just go to the bench? Oh wait, no, it's a different guy. This guy's gonna guard me 94 feet and try to pick my pocket. He averages 2.3 steals per game. He's a 38% three-point shooter. He runs the court. He finishes well. He's a point guard out of Kentucky. You know them Kentucky guards on the Calipari. They never miss. 22 years old. He's primed to take over for Caruso when Caruso starts aging out of being a rotation player. It's crazy. It's crazy. They traded for Caruso, and then they have the perfect understudy for him in Case on Wallace in the wings. This organization don't miss, man. They don't miss. You get Aaron Wiggins. Now, Aaron Wiggins, his nickname is the man who saved basketball. And boy, oh boy, does it feel like for the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's kind of saving their bench unit a little bit. 14 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Feels like he's even taken a little bit of a leap this year. 43% off the bench from three-point range, 48% from the field, 48.5% from the field, almost 50. 77% from the foul line. I like to be a little bit above 80, but he's close enough. Wiggins is a perfect 7th/8th man. On any other team, he's probably a starter, or at the very least a 6th man. On this team, some nights he gets 12 minutes, some nights he gets 25, depends on whether he has it or not. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so he said, wasn't Hartenstein a part of the Knicks before? Yeah, that's why he's a true Benedict Arnold. He decided to forego staying with the Knicks in order to go over to OKC. Get him out of here. The traitor, Benedict Arnold. I have nothing nice to say. Don't want to say anything nice about him. Don't want to give him any compliments, even though he deserves them. He's been absolutely fantastic this year. See, I said it. There's his compliment. Get him out of here now. I don't want to talk about him. We get over to A.J. Mitchell, the last guy I want to talk about. We could talk about literally the whole Thunder roster because they've done a great job of building that roster, and then Mark Daigneault, the head coach of the Thunder, has done a great job of utilizing almost everybody on the roster. Like Brandon Carlson came into the game the other day and knocked down 3 threes and really helped spur the Thunders on. And it was like, okay, cool. Brandon Carlson's going to come into the game now and knock down some shots and really spur them on. It sucks, right? As opponents to the Thunder, it sucks. For the Thunder, it's phenomenal. But A.J. Mitchell, I believe it was a second-round draft pick. He's been absolutely fantastic in his second year here. He's taking a leap. He's their true sixth man when fully healthy. Other than that, he's going to be in the starting lineup if they're missing guys tonight. 14.4 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 3.6 assists for him. He does a little bit of everything. 46.5% from the field, 34% from three-point range. If he comes off the bench for a majority of this season, he'll be in the running for sixth man of the year, but he's played so well that when they deal with injuries or when Oklahoma City is resting guys, they just throw A.J. Mitchell in the starting lineup, and he becomes kind of their second go-to ball handler. Now that J-Dub is back, he's going to slide down that totem pole a little bit farther, but still, the ball hits his hands, and now you have to be on guard about whether or not he's going to drive it, pull up, step back, run a pick and roll, because he's capable of doing that as well. With 6'5", he's got great size, he's got great strength. He was a 4-year college player in Maryland. Just fantastic. Out the gate, ready to go. And OKC, like I said, doesn't miss. They don't miss. Ken Arson, and I'm like, who's this A.J. Mitchell? Of course he's good. He's on OKC. I like A.J. Mitchell coming out of the draft. A lot of people point to the fact that the Knicks had the draft pick that was A.J. Mitchell, but they traded the draft pick away. So they traded it to the Thunder. Maybe the Knicks should have kept that. But Jalen Williams in the starting lineup along with SGA, Lou Dort, Kason Wallace, Chet Holmgren. So normal starting lineup for the Thunder. So A.J. Mitchell will be coming off the bench, but beware of him because he's damn near a 15-point per game scorer off the bench. Having a phenomenal year. We're getting ready for the tip-off, and that is the last guy we want to cover. Then we get over to the Spurs matchup against the Lakers later. Victor Wembanyama will not be available tonight, unfortunately. Victor Wembanyama and Devin Booker both letting us down. They're both letting us down tonight. Onyema? What's up, Onyema? Here we go. Let's get ready for the tip-off. There we go. There we go. Ready to go. And we are ready. Get the step pad out of here. Here we go. Jump ball between Mark Williams and Chet Holmgren. No Isaiah Hartenstein. He's out with an injury as well. Should have mentioned that. He's out with the injury. Mark Williams wins the tip, and we are off and running. Gillespie will bring it down. They get it over to O'Neal, back to Gillespie. Gillespie dances with it against Kason Wallace. Kason Wallace takes it right out of his hand, goes the other way, gets the layup to go. That's not how you want to open up the game if you're Phoenix. Kason Wallace just picking the pocket of Gillespie. They get it over to Williams. Williams has it up top. Now they can actually run their offense. Now they hand it off to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen dancing around the screen, coming to his right. Inside pass to Mark Williams for a two-handed slam. Nice manipulation for the Phoenix Suns there, and they answer right back with an easy dunk. Mark Williams having a very interesting year. Like we said, coming off a really great game against Gobert and the Timberwolves. Let's see if he can recreate that with no Hartenstein tonight. J-Dub coming to his right, attacking. Grayson Allen off the bounce. They pull it back out, now coming to his left. They kick it out to Holmgren. Catches, pump fakes, driving to his right against Williams. Kicks it in the corner. Kason Wallace standing there by himself. And he starts the game with the first 5 points for the Oklahoma City Thunder, 2-5. And now here come the Suns coming the other way looking to answer. Brooks has the ball up top being guarded by Lou Dort. That is like football player versus football player right there. Grayson Allen coming to his right off the Dylan Brooks handoff. Can knock down the pull-up three. Chet Holmgren with a good box out and rebound. Here comes SGA being guarded by Brooks. Crossing over to his left down the lane. Little foul line pull-up jumper. Got it to go. I mean, he's just going to rise and knock it down. 7-2 to start. Here comes the Suns looking to answer. Royce O'Neal has it up top, coming to his left to get it in the corner to Gillespie. Gillespie coming to his right, being guarded by Wallace. Pulls it out, driving it down, spins off of him, leans in, kicks it over to Williams, throws up the little push shot. Can't get it to go way off. And now here comes the Thunder and SGA bringing it down the other way. Thunder looking to get off to a hot start. They've knocked down their first 3 shots of the game. Now SGA has it up top, being guarded by Colin Gillespie. Obviously a mismatch. I mean, it's a mismatch no matter who guards him. Great. SGA has it. Fall away baseline jumper. Comes up short. Mark Williams with the rebound for OKC's first miss of the game. Here comes Royce O'Neal bringing it down the other way. Up top to Mark Williams. Williams gets it over to Grayson Allen. Coming to right up the Williams screen. Cross-court pass. Almost got picked off. Mark Williams picks up the loose ball, but gets blocked from behind or loses the ball. Either way, here comes the Thunder. J-Dub putting his head down, attacking, draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. And everything's coming up for the Oklahoma City Thunder right now. Defense leading the offense as usual for them. Low-key said, I can't believe you only have 2K subscribers. More, you deserve more. I mean, we just hanging out calling basketball games, brother. That's all we doing. That's all we doing. We just having a good time watching some ball. J-Dub's at the foul line for 2 free throws. Oh, I got the Phoenix Suns things back. Y'all gotta let me know. Put the game cast on. I got y'all. Hold on. Put it up. I'm slacking over here. Here we go. J-Dub knocks down both of his free throws, and it's 9-2 to start. The only 2 points for the Phoenix Suns came off of the drop-off pass off the pick and roll for Mark Williams. They get it over to Gillespie, back to Allen. Allen coming to his right at the Mark Williams screen. They swing it up top to Gillespie. They get it over to Royce O'Neal. They drop it down. They try to drop it down low to Mark Williams. A bad pass, and Kason Wallace able to come from behind and poke it loose. Here comes Lou Dort up top over to SGA. He's going to walk in, pump fake from 3, drives it right past Dillon Brooks, puts up the mid-range jumper, and he draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. And Dillon Brooks is upset. He is upset. Mark Williams has to do a better job of sealing Kason Wallace there. Kason Wallace, no, and he's matched up with the big man. No chance I should stay behind him. I'm just going to try and sneak behind him to knock the ball loose, and he does just that. Just that. And imagine 2,300 people in a room. The internet makes numbers delusional. How big a group is. Yeah. I mean, like 2,300. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. I don't take any of y'all for granted. SGA knocks down both free throws. said it was a real foul. SGA draws a lot of BS. It was that classic high-five foul. Grayson Allen launches a straightaway 3, and he got it to go. Finally, something to go for the Phoenix Suns here. I don't like that foul call, but it was that high-five foul call that they've been calling a little bit more this year. Chet Holmgren fires a 3 off the swing over to him on the wing, and he knocks it down. Answers right back. Anything you can do, I can do better offense. Here comes Grayson Allen pushing it down the other way in the lane, leaves it off in the corner. Royce O'Neal catches, pump fake, fly-by defense from J-Dub, resets himself, comes up short on the relocation 3. Here comes J-Dub bringing it down the other way, hit ahead to Holmgren. Holmgren against Mark Williams. He's going to put him in the post. Drives it to his right, stop, turn, fall-away jumper over him. In and out, can't get it to stay. Here comes Royce O'Neal off the rebound. Hit ahead to Brooks. Brooks on the right wing, coming to his left off the Mark Williams screen, snaking it back to his right hand, goes up, tries to finish over Holmgren, can't get it to go. Mark Williams battling for the rebound, but knocks it over to Lou Dort. Now here come the Thunder pushing the other way, hit ahead to Holmgren. Holmgren pulls it back out, get it cross-court pass to SGA. SGA, bounce pass over to Lou Dort, bad pass, and Allen able to save it over to Gillespie. Gillespie bringing it down the other way. Gillespie gets it over to Brooks. Brooks coming to his right against Holmgren. Pull-up baseline jumper, rattles it in for Dillon Brooks. We've talked about how absolutely dynamic he has been as a mid-range shooter so far this year. J-Dub attacking Grayson Allen off the bench. They kick it over to Chet Holmgren, who fires another 3 and another basket. Same shot, same result, this time from the left corner, and a timeout has been called for the Phoenix Suns as they already find themselves down by 10 points here, 17-7. I said Brooks got to heat up. Somebody's got to heat up. Somebody got to knock down these shots. Not a great start defensively for the Phoenix Suns, though. I will say if you're going to play against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the best chance you're going to have is trying to limit their offense. Obviously, they have the best offensive one-on-one weapon in the league in SGA, so when things get bogged down, they could just give the ball to him, and he can go cook and get them, good quality shots. But, giving Chet Holmgren 2 open looks in transition there from 3, probably not going to lead to a fruitful endeavor against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You kind of have to make it into an offensive game because their defense is literally historic. They are like on par with some of the greatest defenses in NBA history. So if you really want to compete with them, you obviously want to play fast offensively and try to run it up and try to garner as many easy buckets as you can get and force the Oklahoma City Thunder to have to keep up with you offensively. Right, it's part of the way that the Indiana Pacers were able to really push the Thunder last year to Game 7 of the Finals. You attack them, as crazy as it sounds, you attack them offensively. or you attack them defensively, is what I mean. Like, you want them to have to feel like they have to play an offensive game in order to keep up with you. Because their defense, they're locked down. They're absolutely locked down. I said that's the Miami style. I mean, that's the style Miami trying to get to. But, since the return of Tyler Hero, not helped. It's not helped. Miami is trying to play a lot closer to the Indiana, the way everybody in the league saw what Indiana did last year in their playoff run and their finals run, made it all the way to Game 7. And so everybody has incorporated a lot of the things that Indiana did during that run. But it's, it's a little bit easier to do for the first week, maybe even the first couple of weeks. But once you start getting into game, 30, 40, 50, it's like, oh, man, we got to go out and run again. So not the easiest style to keep up. Not the easiest style to keep up. I said Miami going for the Mike D'Antoni offense. Not really. The Mike D'Antoni offense really valued that pick and roll. Just because they're playing fast doesn't mean it's the Mike D'Antoni offense. Mike D'Antoni offense was heavily inspired. They heavily ran that pick and roll offense. Obviously it started off with the Phoenix Suns and Steve Nash and Stoudemire, which was the pick and roll duo of that era, right? You go from Stockton and Malone to Nash and Stoudemire to now you're getting to Cunningham and Duren, which is like the modern day version of the classic pick and roll guard big combo. But Miami doesn't do that. Miami sets the least amount of picks in the NBA by far. They're running like a new style of offense. Not close to Mike D'Antoni's offense at all. Kwame Robinson, what's up, Kwame? We know the outcome of this game? Probably, but there's a reason why you play. There's a reason why you play. Gillespie has it up top, and we're back into it. Under 8 minutes to go. Gillespie gets it over to Royce O'Neal, being guarded by Dort, and Dort gets hit with the foul. Royce O'Neal holding his face, making sure the refs see. Hey, man, Dort just hit me in the face. Call the foul, please. They get over to the top to Gillespie, driving it down in the lane, throws up a high floater, comes up short, battle for the loose ball rebound. Gillespie picks it up and gets blocked by Holmgren. Gillespie, you just got to try to kick that back out. Way too crowded in the paint. They got way too many good rim protectors. SGA bringing it down the other way, being guarded by Allen. Crosses over to his right, kicks it in the corner. J-Dub fires a right wing three off the back rim, can't get it to go. Royce O'Neal with the rebound. Hit ahead to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, pump fakes, gets it back to O'Neal. He hesitates from three. They get over to Brooks. Brooks being guarded by Kayson Wallace. Driving to his left, kicks it in the corner. Grayson Allen, wide open left corner three. And he gets that one to go. That's now 2 threes for Grayson Allen. And it is 10-17. They're right back into it. Ooh, forgot to restart the timer. A little over 7 minutes to go. They push it down low to J-Dub. J-Dub kicks it back out to Wallace. Back up top to Holmgren. Holmgren over to SGA. SGA over the top pass to Holmgren in the paint. Little pull-up jumper. Got it to go. Slipped the screen. Came over like he was going to set it and then slipped right into that middle of the lane. Mark Williams has it up top. Hands it off to Allen. Coming down the lane. Righty layup. Got it to go. And Grayson Allen, the only guy getting it going right now for the Phoenix Suns. Somebody else is going to have to step up to help them. They're now down by 7. Not insurmountable, obviously, but you're going to need some help out there. J-Dub has it up top, being guarded by Allen. Coming to his right, driving it down in the lane, kicks it out to SGA. SGA in the corner to Dort. Dort being chased off the line by Gillespie. Step back, foul line, fall away jumper. Can't get that one to go. I mean, if you're the Phoenix Suns, that's the exact kind of shot you want OKC to continue to settle for. Brooks coming to his left off the Mark Williams screen. Making it back to his right hand, middle of the lane. Fall away, mid-range jumper, comes up short on that one. Chad Holmgren with the rebound. Here comes J-Dub. Cross-court pass to SGA. SGA right side of the court, bringing it down against Grayson Allen. Crossing over to his right, down the lane. Gets the little floater to go and draws the foul on Grayson Allen. Again, on that little touch foul. Those little touch fouls for sure. I think those are the fouls that I think everybody in the league wants to see eliminated for SGA. Like, he's too talented to be giving him these little touch fouls. SGA knocks down his and one free throw. He's too talented to give him every single little touch foul that occurs. Right? There are players that get absolutely hammered, and they don't pick up fouls. 6 minutes to go. I don't know why I stopped the timer. Should just keep it going so we can catch up. Allen Euro steps down the lane, gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn in the lane, kicks it over to Dillon Brooks. Relocation 3 for him. He's not knocked down the three-point shot with the same level of consistency he did over there in Houston. He misses that one. Here comes J-Dub bringing it down. Hesitates, knocked out of his hands. Mark Williams picks it up. It's a 2-on-1 fast break. Royce O'Neal drives it down, throws a lob up to Dunn, and Dunn able to lay it up and in. Wild pass from Royce O'Neal. Dunn really had to elevate to get it, but he did go up and get it. Them young legs got up there, and they made sure they got it. We're now under 6 minutes to go. J-Dub has it on the right wing, being guarded by Dunn. Blows past him. Scoop layup with the right hand, nice and easy. Can't give him an open lane. You can't, especially going to his strong hand, Ryan Dunn. Bad defense from him. Royce O'Neal has it up top, bringing it down against J-Dub. O'Neal doing a lot of ball handling right now. Not necessarily what you want if you're the Phoenix Suns. J-Dub ends up fouling Dillon Brooks by accident. Fell into him. He was trying to apply pressure to Royce O'Neal. You know, I said, Z keeps getting this BS. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that frustrates fans for sure. You see SGA get the little touch fouls, and then everybody else in the league has to, like, deal through the contact. Just feels weird. Just feels weird watching everybody else battle through contact, and then watching SGA, you know, get breathed on and then draws the foul. Ryan Dunn shoves it over to Iguodala, who's just checked in. He's going to attack Jalen Williams off the bounce. Scoop play with the right hand, can't get it to go. J-Dub picks up the rebound. We got two Jalen Williams on the court right now. We got J-Dub and Jalen Williams. That's how I distinguish between them. SGA driving it down, step back along the baseline. Good defense from Iguodala, doesn't go for the pump fake. Kicks it back out to J-Dub, attacking Ryan Dunn off the bounce. Good defense from Dunn there. J-Dub step back, fall away, jumper over him. Great defense, just better offense from J-Dub. Stepped back and knocked down the fall away mid-range jumper anyway. 12-point lead for OKC, their largest lead of the game. Dillon Brooks coming off the screen, attacks the paint, scoops, throws up the layup against Jalen Williams. Can't get it to go, but he does draw the foul. So he's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws with 4:27 to go. Mark, what's up, Mark? This one's over. Trending that way, for sure. It is for sure trending that way. 4:27 to go. Dillon Brooks at the foul line for 2 free throws. Knocks down the first one. Lano Monas, what's up, Lano? OKC looks scary. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Warriors record winning more than 73 games. Can they? They definitely can. They're definitely on pace to do it. They're definitely on pace to do it. I mean, they're on pace to lose like 4 games this year, so there's that. There's that. Dillon Brooks knocks down both free throws. Here comes SGA. Jalen Williams has it up top, hands it off to A.J. Mitchell, who's just checked in. Mitchell attacking to his right, now crossing over to his left against Dunn. Behind the back, coming to his right in the lane, throws up the floater, gets it to go down. Again, good defense, better offense that time from A.J. Mitchell. Grayson Allen has it up top. Get it over to Dunn. Dunn over to Iguodala. Fakes the hand off to Allen. Keeps it. Coming to his right. Hands it off to Ryan Dunn. Coming to his left. Attacking. He's got nowhere to go because they're playing off of him heavy. They swing it out to Allen. They run him off the line. Down the lane. Inside to Iguodala. A little push shot in the paint. Can't get that one to stay. But loose ball rebound. Ball knocked loose. Iguodala dives for it. Aaron Wiggins dives for it. Saves it over to Jalen Williams. And Williams gets it over to SGA. Now here come the Thunder. SGA has it up top. Being guarded by Brooks. Coming to his left off the Cason Wallace screen. Driving it down along the baseline. Step back. Feeds it out to A.J. Mitchell in the right corner. Steps back for a 3, and he rattles it in. And now it's 31-16. We might be in store for a heavy blowout here tonight. Brooks has it up top, spinning to his right, coming off the Iguodala screen. Foul line pull-up jumper from him. Comes up short. Not a good night to start missing these mid-range jumpers for Dillon Brooks. SGA bringing it down the other way, and he dribbles into traffic and loses it. Dillon Brooks tries to throw the home run pass. Almost got picked off by Wallace. They get it back. They get it out to... who is this? Jordan Goodwin misses the layup against Jalen Williams. Home run pass over to SGA. SGA throws up a lob to Cason Wallace, and he lays it up and in. And another timeout for the Phoenix Suns, 16-33. Already up by 17 points. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and it's 33-16. It's already threatening to become a blowout. Low-key said this is embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. Not embarrassing at all. This is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've done this to everybody. Can't be embarrassed when it literally happens to everybody. If you're the Phoenix Suns, you're going to try to take advantage of the minutes without SGA out there. I mean, everybody else is still really good. So you're still going to have an uphill battle. But really your only chance of getting back into this one. (33-16). I was hoping we'd get a little bit of a closer game, at least for the first half. Not going to count the Phoenix Suns out just yet, but it's not looking great so far. Not looking great. The only team, I will point out, the only team in the NBA with a better record than the Knicks at home, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are undefeated at home. They're 11-0. And they are at home here tonight. So, Oklahoma City is also historically a very tough place to play. And this is a big game with it being the NBA Cup, nationally televised, all the things. So they're making it a big deal. Bible mind control? What's a Bible? They ain't do my Spurs like that. But you still didn't beat them. Still didn't beat them. I mean, we're not going to sit here and celebrate not getting blown out by the Thunder, you know? A loss is still a loss, unfortunately. Low-key said, I thought they'll put up a fight at least. I mean, they still might. They still might. Game's not over yet. You're down by 17. How do you respond? Right? Another timeout for the Suns. Doug Fresh, what's up, Doug? You know, I said, I want to bet on Booyah again. And again, no bets. I mean, he's not even really a part of their full rotation. He's playing because of the injuries. You might have to check another sports book in order to find some Booyah prop bets. Right, but that might be that is essentially going to be the difference in the game, is that Phoenix is going to go to their bench, and without Devin Booker and without Jalen Green, a lot of their bench guys are in the starting lineup, and so once they go to their bench, they're essentially going to some third-string guys, and OKC will go to their bench, and their bench is just way better than the Suns' bench. So even if SGA does come out, they're probably going to have to lean on the starters a little bit more mixed in with their bench in order to get an opportunity of bringing this one back to being competitive here. Loki said, if only Booker was available. Yeah, he was questionable coming into tonight, and then as the day went on, you know, the way the phrasing started to come out, it was like highly questionable, probably not. I was like, just say he's not playing then. Stop giving people hope. It started to make me a little annoyed. Here come the Suns looking for an answer. Iguodala has on the right wing. Coming to his left. Good ball denied from Caruso, who's now in, and he knocks it out of bounds. 2:53 to go. Booyah is in the game for the Suns. Our guy Booyah. Doug Fresh said OKC should put their bench in. Don't worry. OKC starters normally only play 3 quarters anyway, so the bench will have more than enough time in that 4th quarter. Iguodala has it up top. Hands it off to Booyah. Coming to his left off the handoff. Step back, pump fakes over to Iguodala. Has it in the paint. Stops, turns, spins, loses it. Flips it up with the right hand. Comes up well short. Almost shot up an air ball in the little push shot in the paint. Here comes SGA bringing it down the other way now. SGA being guarded by Booyah. I mean, this feels unfair. This is like the varsity captain going up against the brand new freshman. SGA turnaround jumper misses it though, but the loose ball goes right back to OKC as they win out for the 50-50 ball. AJ Mitchell in the paint, kicks it out to SGA, pump fakes, gets into the lane, kicks it out to J. Will, pass fake over to Caruso, open straightaway 3, and Alex Caruso makes it a 20-point lead here in the first quarter, 36-16 with 2 minutes to go. All right, here comes Booyah. They get it over to Gillespie. Gillespie being guarded by Mitchell. Coming to right after the Iguodala screen. Steps back, crossing over in the lane. Kicks out to Booyah. They swing it over to Jordan Goodwin, left wing 3. And he answers right back with a 3 of his own. Okay. Couple threes go the Suns' way, and they might be able to crawl their way back into this one. It's not looking great so far, though. SGA gets it over to Caruso. Caruso bringing it down. Has it up top, being guarded by Booyah. They get over to Jalen Williams. Back to Caruso. Over to SGA. Coming to his left. Driving it down in the lane. Kicks it in the corner. AJ Mitchell fires another one. Comes up short on that one. Iguodala with the rebound. Here comes also Iguodala. He's going to bring it down. Iguodala has it on the right wing. Driving it down against big man Jalen Williams. Gets into the paint. Kicks it out. Ryan Dunn, a left corner 3. Well short. Iguodala the offensive rebound and knocks down the little floater on the putback. Okay, back to 15. And you continue to get stops and scores, though. Aaron Wiggins has it up top, being guarded by Booyah. Crosses over to his left in the lane. Spins to his right. Throws up the little floater off the back rim, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball, and the Suns win it out yet again. Here comes also Iguodala bringing it down. Iguodala up top. Going to look to attack one-on-one again. Swings through down the lane. Kicks it out to nobody. Every time you think you're building some momentum, you're going to right back over to him. Roy Valentino, what's up, Roy? My timer's still going. 40 seconds to go. Should have kept it going. SGA has it up top, being guarded by Dunn. Coming to his left. Gillespie switches on to SGA. He's gonna look to dance nicely. Hits Jalen Williams cutting back door. Little fall away jumper. Can't get it to go. Good defense from Oso Iguodala. He's been a bit of a bright spot here in this first quarter for them. Colin Gillespie trying to drive it down. Gets the ball knocked out of his hands. Not a good night for Colin Gillespie here. The Cinderella run might be coming to an end against the champions here, as SGA just bodies his way into the paint and knocks down the lefty push shot. 38-21, 16 seconds to go. Jamari Bouye is bringing it down. Bouye gets doubled out by the half-court line, and he picked up his handle. Throws it over to Iguodala. Bounce pass into Ryan Dunn. Big two-handed slam from him with 4.5 seconds to go. 15-point game. Not insurmountable. They get it over to Jalen Williams. If they can get a stop here, not the worst thing in the world to be down 15 going into the second. A.J. Mitchell heaves it up there. Can't get it to go with the buzzer. And that will be the end of our first quarter. Okay. Suns down by 15. Obviously not a good spot to be in, but not insurmountable. They didn't get off to a great start. Let's see what they're going to be able to do to start the second quarter with SGA probably going to start it on the bench there. I said that's Hynix. Wanna bet Booyah will play in a blowout? Hynix? What do you mean? I said I just took Goodwin points and assists. I wanted Booyah. Goodwin's not a bad pickup, though. Goodwin's already knocked down a 3 tonight. He's got 3 points, 1 rebound. I don't know about assists, but he might pick up a couple points and assists. He'll definitely play a lot, especially if this is a blowout. He'll be one of the guys out there, I assume. Darnell said they're going to lose by 20 points. We'll see. We will see. 15-point game right now. They can start off well in the second quarter, get it back to a single-digit game at least, and make it competitive. Give themselves an opportunity here. We'll see how far they're going to be able to go. I said mistype. No idea what that is. That's what I was like. Did I get the player's name wrong? Did I confuse him with somebody? I was like, I've never heard of Hynix. Who's that guy? Monkey Man. What's up, Monkey Man? Had Devin Booker over 23 PRA, and this man gets ruled out. Shouldn't they refund you for that then? Isn't that how that works? I don't know. I'm not a betting man myself, so I don't know how it works. I said, this dumb thing types whatever it wants. You got to turn auto input off, or whatever it's called. I did see a lot of people were speculating that Devin Booker was going to play today because all of the sports books were making Devin Booker's prop bets available. They were like, all right, if they're making it available, probably going to play. Like that's got to be the general feeling is that he's playing tonight. And then obviously he gets ruled out, unfortunately. Robes Pierre, what's up, Robes? OKC will win by 25 free throws. Interesting way of putting it. They definitely might. Hopefully we do get a better second game, though. Hopefully the Suns can make this one interesting. And also, hopefully the Lakers-Spurs matchup will be much better. Unfortunately, no Wembanyama. Still out, right? Last we heard was that he was close. There was some, small amount of optimism that he might be able to give it a go tonight, but he was ruled out much earlier. See, that's what I like. They ruled Wembanyama out earlier in the day, and they were like, he's not ready to go. He's ruled out. I wish they would have done that with Booker. It's not gave us hope that we'd get to see Booker and a healthier Phoenix Suns take on this Thunder team. Here we go. We're checking back in for the second quarter. And Phoenix and Oklahoma City bringing the ball down. Chet Holmgren has it up top, fires away the straightaway three, and he knocks it down. That's 3 for 3 from three-point range for Chet Holmgren. My goodness. Back up to 18. Gillespie has it up top. He's been very bad handling the pressure here tonight from the Thunder. Really good learning experience for him, but it's not looking good. Jordan Goodwin, the left corner three, comes up short. Battle for the rebound. Good box out and rebound from Holmgren. Hit ahead to J-Dub. J-Dub bringing it down. Throws the lob up top to Caruso, catches it, kicks it out to Mitchell. Mitchell driving it down in the paint. Shoves it out to J-Dub. Got a free lane to the basket. Scoop layup. Can't get it to go, but he does draw the foul on Ryan Dunn, trying to come over on help. We'll send J-Dub back to the foul line for 2 more free throws here. Excellent cut for J-Dub there. Great patience from OKC, as usual. Just probing their way until they find an open lane. J-Dub at the foul line knocks down the first one. They put the live odds as to who's going to win the NBA Cup, and the Thunder obviously have the best odds at minus 130, but the Knicks are second. Knicks are second at plus 260. J-Dub knocks down both of them to give the Oklahoma City Thunder the largest lead of the night, or ties the largest lead of the night. 23-43, back up to 20-point lead. They scored the first 5 points of the quarter. Booyah has it up top. They get it over to Jordan Goodwin. Goodwin gets it over to Gillespie. Pocket pass to Iguodala down the lane. Knocks down a big two-handed slam. There you go. Nice speed from Gillespie there. But you need stops. You need stops. J-Dub bringing it down against Ryan Dunn. Coming to his right off the screen. Goodwin switches on to J-Dub. J-Dub's going to dance with it behind the back. Coming to his right in the lane. Gets stripped. Jordan Goodwin saves it. Bringing it down now. Saves it out to Ryan Dunn. Dunn shoves it over to Booyah. Pass fake. Fires up a three. Booyah with the three. Okay. Jamari Booyah. Just what you needed. Needed a spark off the bench. Booyah knocks it down. It's back to 15. Back to 15. Can you get it below that? A.J. Mitchell splits the pick and roll down the lane. Gets blocked at the basket, but they call a late foul call. And A.J. Mitchell will make his way to the foul line for 2 free throws. Suns Gen, what's up, Suns Gen? All I can do is focus on the positive individual moments. That's what I'm talking about, Suns Gen. I love that positivity, my brother. I really do. Really do. Look, you're playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and your 2 best players are injured. All you could ask is to see some moments from guys you're really rooting for, right? I don't blame you at all, my brother. Don't blame you at all. A.J. Mitchell at the foul line knocks down the first one. Shredded Bear, what's up, Shredded Bear? I'm sick of J-Dub. Rebounds, and he doesn't grab none. Now I have him for under, and he gets everything. Noob, what's up, Noob? How many free throws for OKC so far? We could check it at the next commercial break, the next timeout break, the next dead ball. We'll bring up the box score and take a look real quick. Did they turn the ball over on the inbounds? The Suns turned the ball over yet again? They did. Booyah turns it over off the inbounds. A.J. Mitchell knocked it off his hand. Who's that? Just chucked up a three. Way off on that one. Kenrich Williams chucked up that air ball from the left wing. They get it over to Iguodala in the post, being guarded by A.J. Mitchell. Iguodala backing down Mitchell. Backing him down, spins along the baseline. Kicks out to Booyah. Jab step, driving it down in the lane. Euro steps, gets caught in the air and throws it to nobody. I don't know better than that, Booyah. I don't know better than that. A.J. Mitchell knocked down both free throws. Forgot to credit that. Noob said they're too OP. Yeah. Said I need somebody to beat this team. Yeah. It's interesting because we're trying to evaluate what does it take to beat the Thunder. What does it take? They've only had 1 loss so far this year, and that was a miraculous 20-point comeback from the Portland Trail Blazers. Royce O'Neal off the inbound, got down low and got a nice point in the paint. And Booyah strips Chet Holmgren down low. Here comes Gillespie, hit ahead to Goodwin, tagging the basket, scoop layup. Got it to go to a 13-point game and a timeout for the Thunder. All right, Phoenix, hanging around. Like I said, if you can get it to single digits, keep it competitive, keep it going. Keep it going. It's a long basketball game, right? Phoenix not out of it yet. I'm trying to tell you guys, not out of it yet. Booyah making things happen, Kinohara. Sucks you couldn't grab him. 9:30 to go here. Keenar said, Knicks might win if a plague sweeps through OKC's roster before the game. Let's look up the free throws. Somebody was asking about the free throws. Let's go over the box score real quick. We can take a look. Overall, the Phoenix Suns have taken 2 free throws. It ain't over here. They've taken 2 free throws. And the Oklahoma City Thunder have taken 9 free throws. So the free throw disparity is 9-2. Bible said, doing good job announcing. Appreciate you, Bible. Appreciate you. You doing the Lakers Spurs also? We are also doing the Lakers versus Spurs game, Bible. We will be live all the way through the night for both basketball games. I do like trying to do back-to-backs. It's a little taxing, right? We're live for 6, at that point you're live for 6 straight hours, talking nonstop, right? We got no commercial breaks. I've got no commercial breaks. I got no partner to bounce off of. I got nobody to take, hey, I need to go use the bathroom real quick. You take charge. Got none of that. So I'm going to be standing here in front of the camera for 6 hours straight, talking, commentating, trying to do some analysis. OKC said, who do you think will matter of fact, I just prayed for the Thunder earlier tonight? Who do you think will win? Probably the Thunder. I mean, they're up 13, the best team in the league. They only have 1 loss. Probably the Thunder. Bible said, I'm with you for all hours. Appreciate you, Bible. Appreciate you. We're going to do 2 separate streams. So this game is a stream dedicated to covering the Phoenix Suns taking on the Thunder. And then I will end this stream. The prompt will come up. It'll ask you if you want to go to the next game. You can go ahead, just click that prompt at the end of tonight's game when I end the stream. It'll send you over to the other one. We'll be live for that one right away. And then obviously we'll be covering Spurs taking on the Lakers. Unfortunately, no Wembanyama. He is out. Still remains out. Thankfully, though, they did announce that earlier in the day. They did not give people hope. They just immediately were like, yep, he's not playing. We already know. Bible said just sub. Appreciate you, Bible. Hope you're having a good time tonight. We cover basketball games Monday through the weekend. We're live 6 days out of the week. Every now and again, if there's not a good basketball game, like I don't think we're going to stream tomorrow because we go through the schedule. As a matter of fact, we can look at it real quick right now. But, I was trying to look ahead. I'm like, all right, what does the week look like? What are the next couple of days going to look like? And I'm trying to look ahead to the schedule, and I go over to tomorrow's slate of games, and you got Clippers, Rockets. I have no interest in watching the Clippers. They suck. You got Celtics, Bucks. No Giannis. Celtics on the rise. They're going to blow the Bucks out. You got Blazers, Pelicans. Who's trying to watch the Pelicans? I know Derek Queen's interesting, but I don't want to watch that team overall. And then you got Nuggets, Kings. It's a late game. Do I really want to watch the Kings? Not really. So we might not be live tomorrow, but we will be live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Probably Sunday. But we will be live Friday and Sunday. Holmgren misses a bunny at the rim. We're back into it. Let's do it. Jordan Goodwin leaves it off to Royce O'Neal. Lefty layup, can't get it to go. Good contest from Chet Holmgren, and Royce O'Neal just smokes a layup to get over to Caruso. Tries to shovel it down low. Gillespie with a nice steal. Read it coming the whole way. Hesitates from 3. Gillespie picked up his handle, though. Number one thing you can do against this Thunder team. Bouye dancing with it up top to get it over to Royce O'Neal. O'Neal coming to his right. Pocket pass down low to Goodwin. All the way to the basket. Can't get the layup to go. Yet again, great defense from Chet Holmgren. Y'all can't be as afraid of Chet Holmgren as you appear to be. I know he's a great rim protector and whatnot, but they kick it out to Holmgren. He's been on fire from 3. Can't get that one to go. Gillespie with the rebound. He's bringing it down the other way. Get it over to O'Neal. Back to Gillespie. Gillespie gets it over to Iguodaro. Iguodaro hands it off to Bouye. Bouye in the lane. Throws up the floater. And my man Jamari Bouye announcing himself here tonight. Great minutes from him. Back to an 11-point game. Suns trying to mount a little bit of a comeback here, trying to keep it competitive. Chet Holmgren driving it down, has Bouye on him, so he's just going to drive it down in the paint, throws up the floater, and gets it to go over him easily. You're going to have to bring help at some point. You got Jamari Bouye trying to guard Holmgren. Come on. Iguodaro has it up top, hands it off to Gillespie, coming to his left, pulls it out. Being guarded by J-Dub, coming to his left, driving it down, has some space in the lane, leaves it off to Iguodaro, kicks it out to Goodwin, a right corner 3, no hesitation. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Loose ball gets knocked all the way out to Iguodaro. Good hustle from Bouye. He's making things happen out there, man. Iguodaro spins off the defender. They kick it out to Royce O'Neal. He's going to dance with it up top, coming to his right, driving it down against A.J. Mitchell. Down the lane, gets stripped. Ball is loose. Holmgren picks it up. and a foul on Jordan Goodwin, and as he waves off the referee, like, how are you not going to call a foul on them reaching in, but call a foul on me reaching in? Come on. Noob, what's up, Noob? Is Maxey MVP worthy? I'm a Sixers fan. He'll be on the ballot. He'll be one of the names definitely mentioned. He's been phenomenal this year, for sure. Noob said the only way to beat the Thunder is for the Thunder to strike a play while it's in the air. That's crazy. Darnell reminding people of the like button. Appreciate you, Darnell. If you're enjoying the show so far, go ahead, hit that like button. Best way you can show support, subscribing and hitting the like button. So I'd appreciate it. AJ Mitchell tries to kick it out, throws it away. Ball going back to the Suns here. Down by 13. Not insurmountable. Gonna keep saying it. Bouye bringing it down against Mitchell. Gets it over to Gillespie. Gillespie being guarded by Wallace. Gillespie coming to his right up the Iguodala screen. Pull up three for Gillespie. Deep straight away. Throws up the air ball. He's looking at the official for a foul call thing in case Wallace is hanging all over him. Referees don't give him the call. I don't think there was a foul there. And the Thunder will bring it down off the air ball. Also, I'm too zoomed in over here. Let's zoom that back out so you can see who's on the court. Here we go. They swing it out. Kenrich Williams, a left wing three. He throws up an air ball. He threw up an air ball from the right wing. Now he throws up an air ball from the left wing. Let's keep Kenrich Williams shooting for the Phoenix Suns. Dylan Brooks is back in the game. He's going to attack Holmgren. Gets to the paint. Gets blocked by Holmgren. And that's why these players are missing layups when Holmgren's around him. Excellent shot blocker. Excellent rim protector. Kenrich Williams has it up top, attacking. Coming to his right against Iguodala. Pump fake, leans in. Goes up off glass. Got it to go. Kenrich Williams extending the lead here. Back up to 15. Dylan Brooks bringing it down the other way. Has it on the right wing. Approaching the halfway point here in the second quarter. They get it to Iguodala. Iguodala being guarded by Aaron Wiggins. They get it out to Brooks. Brooks coming to his left. Has it in the mid-range. Fall away baseline, fall away mid-range jumper. Gets fouled by Aaron Wiggins. Is going to send Dylan Brooks to the foul line for two. Okay. All right. Knock down your free throws now if you're Dylan Brooks. OKC said, Philippines, 413. I have the strength to face all conditions by the power. Appreciate you, OKC. Bible said Maxley definitely would be useful on the Wolves. Oh, for sure. I mean, the Wolves could use any point guard right now. They don't really have one. Bible said the Spurs are the only team that stand a chance against beating the Thunder. I'd say the Nuggets. I'd say the Nuggets have the have the best chance of beating the Thunder, followed by the Rockets, probably followed by the Spurs. Dylan Brooks knocked down both free throws. Chet Holmgren down the lane. Gets fouled. Foul on the floor? They foul on the floor. 6 minutes to go. SGA's back in. Halfway through this second quarter. Still remains a 13-point game. Phoenix hanging in there. They're hanging around. Bible said in a 7-game series, only team, and maybe the Lakers? Definitely not the Lakers. Lakers can't handle Phoenix. I mean, with Oklahoma City. SGA just walks into a pull-up straightaway three. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, maybe put a hand up. They didn't even put a hand up there. Mark Williams is back in the game. They get it out to Bouye. Bouye driving it down in the lane, kicks it out to Brooks. Brooks catches, hesitates against Kason Wallace, swings through to his right, putting his head down attacking, uses his size and strength, and knocks down the mid-range jumper to get the shot over him. Trading threes for twos there. They get it over to Lou Dort. Lou Dort on the right wing, coming to his left. Being guarded by Bouye. They get it over to Wallace. Wallace being guarded by Mark Williams. They get it to SGA. SGA being guarded by Royce O'Neal. O'Neal's a good defender, but SGA taking his time, balancing himself, stops, step back, pump fakes again, kicks it over to Dort. Dort's going to fire three over Mark Williams. They're going to dare him to shoot. Hit the side of the backboard, barely hit the rim there. Oh my goodness, tossed up a knuckleball up there from Lou Dort. Dylan Brooks has it up top, being guarded by SGA now on a switch. Brooks driving it down, blows past him. Scoop layup, gets swatted out of there by Chet Holmgren. And then Chet Holmgren falls right on top of Dylan Brooks. How is that not a foul on Chet Holmgren? I'm just saying. CEO King, what's up, CEO? Doesn't Mark Williams start for the Suns? He does. He just came back into the game here. He tried to get it in down low to Dylan Brooks, forced the pass, and it's picked off by the Thunder over to Aaron Wiggins, who smokes a layup. Good defense from the Suns to not also foul. Hit a head pass to Grayson Allen. Allen in the corner. O'Neal, quick catch and fire from three. Can't get that one to go. Rushed it a little bit because Kayshawn Wallace was closing out hard. Here comes Aaron Wiggins bringing it down the other way. Wiggins, quick crossover to his left. He's got a lane to the rim. Kicks it in the corner. Extra pass to Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams up top to SGA. SGA being guarded by Royce O'Neal. Now he's going to look to go one-on-one here. Coming to his left. Blowing past the defense in the lane. Throws up a high floater. Got it to go. I mean, he's in such a groove right now. He's in such a groove. Larry Allen, what's up, Larry? Do the Sonics have a chance? Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Do they have a chance of coming back to the league? Probably not, the way the commissioner's been talking lately. Bible said, the mic is a prop because I could hear you fine without it. It is absolutely a prop. It is 100% a prop. It gives me something to do with my hands. Because if not, then I'm just standing there like this. And this looks silly to me. I got nothing to do with my hands. Hands will start doing this. Hands will start doing this. Hands will start doing this. What am I going to do with my hands? For 6 hours here, what am I going to do with my hands? I need something to hold on to. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? What is 0.5 triple-double? I don't know what half a triple-double is. Can't tell you, Kev. Haven't heard that one. Sons Jen said, perfect prop plus the hat. It's a whole vibe. Very true. Very true. Try to create a nice, strong vibe here. We just out here trying to have a good time. Namar, what's up, Namar? Are you going to cover the Lakers and the Spurs? We will be covering the Lakers and the Spurs game right after this one. It's going to be 2 separate streams. Kevin said it's on all the sports books. You might be reading, I'm not a betting person, but you might be reading 0.5 triples. So it's not a triple-double. It might be trying to ask you if you think this player is going to hit a 3 that game. But I don't know. I'm not a betting person, brother. Can't tell you. Not my lane. Big Rud, what's up, Big Rud? You can always twiddle your tie. I can't twiddle my tie because my microphone is on my tie. So I can, actually. I can't. Namar said, go Spurs beating the Lakers. I hope so. I'm really interested to see. The Spurs are finally almost fully healthy. Now they're missing their, most important player in Wembanyama, but everybody else is back. You got De'Aaron Fox back, then you got Castle back, and now you have Dylan Harper back, and all 3 of those guys playing well. So all they're missing is Wembanyama, who's inching closer to coming back. So it's going to be a fun game to watch that Spurs team, because even without Wembanyama, they've been playing well. So I'm very interested in watching that game. I was more interested in that game than this game here tonight, because I knew with no Devin Booker, with no Jalen Green, it's going to be difficult for the Phoenix Suns, and it has been difficult for the Phoenix Suns. CEO said it means he gets a triple-double or doesn't. There you go. There you go. That's what that means. Dog Catcher, what's up, Dog Catcher? Namar said, thoughts on the Mets trading their best players. Did they trade their best players? Didn't those guys just walk in free agency? I don't know. I'm a very casual baseball fan, and I'm not a Mets fan. I'm a Yankees fan. So my opinion on it is just, now you got to rebuild, right? You got to move on and rebuild. Here we go. Should have had the timer caught up, but we have 4:15 to go. They get it over to Dylan Brooks, a right wing 3. Got it to go, and the foul over Lou Dort. 4-point possible play here for Dylan Brooks coming out of the timeout there. And get it to a 12-point game. There's that high 5 foul that we saw earlier in the game for SGA. Now we're seeing it here for Dylan Brooks. Dogcatcher said once, our Sonic expansion back in Seattle for renewal for Blazers' longtime regional rivalry. We all thought that the league was primed for expansion. A couple of years ago, it was like really heating up that conversation. But now it feels like we're not looking to expand. Adam Silver is more interested in starting a brand new league overseas. I don't know what Adam Silver is doing, man. He strikes me as a guy who's not that big of a basketball fan. You know? OKC said, what are your thoughts on Spurs versus Lakers? I told you already. Spurs are probably going to win. I'm interested to watch the game. It's going to be a really fun, close game. Luka, Reeves, and LeBron are all playing. So it'll be interesting. Oh, it's an off-ball foul. It's not a foul on Dylan. It's not a foul on Lou Dort on the closeout. It's a foul off-ball by Jalen Williams, big man Jalen Williams. But they are going to count the Dillon Brooks 3. They are going to count the Dillon Brooks 3, and they're going to give Mark Williams one free throw here. Mark Williams at the foul line for 2. I mean, out the foul line for 1 more, excuse me. And he gets the free throw to go. So a classic 4-point play there for the Phoenix Suns. 4:10 to go. Cason Wallace bringing it down. It's a 12-point game. Cason Wallace up top. They get it over to Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams hands it off to SGA. And it looks like the Phoenix Suns are in a zone here. A little matchup zone. They sprayed it out to Aaron Wiggins. Coming to his left. Stops. Pulls it back out. Up top to Cason Wallace. They swing it over to Lou Dort. Puts up the 3 over Dillon Brooks. And he answers right back. Getting those 3 points right back from Dillon Brooks. Oof. Big time shot for Lou Dort, who hasn't been very consistent from 3-point range, but he got that one to go. Bouye driving it down, steps back, kicks it over to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen driving to his left in the lane, gets a step and draws a foul. Side out of bounds for the Phoenix Suns. Namar said, would the Yankees be willing to give up Cody Bellinger and the Mets can get him? Who knows, brother? Who knows? I don't know. It's not the time to really talk about basketball right now. I mean, talk about baseball right now. We got a game going on. Grayson Allen down the lane, stops, pump fake, kicks it in the corner. Dillon Brooks at left corner 3, airballs it. But out of bounds off of Aaron Wiggins. Wasn't expecting an airball, I'll tell you that. So at least the Suns will retain the possession here, but 4 seconds on the shot clock, though. Royce O'Neal. Nobody to get it to. Tries to feed it down low to Dillon Brooks and turns it over. Bad pass from Royce O'Neal. Hit ahead to Lou Dort. Loses the handle. Picks back up to get it out to Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams gets it out. J-Dub knocks down a 3. Back-to-back 3s for OKC, and they're suddenly back up by 18. Power of the 3 ball. Here comes Royce O'Neal bringing it down the other way. O'Neal has it up top, being guarded by SGA. Get it over to Grayson Allen, spinning, coming down the lane, gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Dillon Brooks. Brooks coming to his right, bump Euro, throws up a tough, fall-away contested floater. Great defense from OKC, bad shot selection from the Suns. Home run pass over to Cason Wallace, who just beat them down the court and throws down a 2-handed hammer to go back up by 20. Just when you thought they had a chance, OKC slams the door yet again. Now we're gonna have to see if Phoenix can pull that door back open. Bouye knocks down a step back 3. Where would the Phoenix Suns be without Jamari Bouye tonight? SGA bringing it down. The ball knocked out of his hands. Royce O'Neal picks it up. O'Neal over to Allen. Back to Mark Williams in the paint. And gets fouled by Cason Wallace. Going to send him to the foul line for 2. That wasn't J-Dub who knocked down the 3. That was Aaron Wiggins. Excuse me. J-Dub not on the court right now. Mark Williams at the foul line. 2 free throws. Misses a free throw. And you're down by double figures. Can't be missing free throws. Every point counts. Mark Williams missed the first one. Got 1 more coming. Misses both. SGA with the rebound. Can go 0 for 2 from the foul line at this stage in the game, brother. SGA, bullet pass inside the J-Dub. They swing it out to Cason Wallace. Wide open for a 3. Can't get it to go. Good box out from the Phoenix Suns there, and Gillespie able to pick it up. Hit ahead. Back to Gillespie. Gillespie up top. Swings through to his right, rejecting the screen. Stops. Fends off the defender. Fall away mid-range shot. Comes up well short. Spotlight looking a little too bright for Colin Gillespie tonight. Step back three for SGA over Gillespie. Got it to go. He said, this is how it's done, young man. This is how it's done. Back up by 20 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. O'Neal has it up top, coming to his left. When you have Royce O'Neal as one of your better ball handlers, you know you're in a tough situation. Mark Williams gets it out to Dylan Brooks. Brooks dancing with it against J-Dub. Gets the ball knocked out of his hands. It's loose. Brooks able to pick it up. Kicks it out to Royce O'Neal. Catches, pump fake, sidestep down the lane. Doesn't get it off in time, and that will be a shot clock violation. And now here come the Thunder bringing it down the other way with already a 20-point lead. Whew. SGA crosses over, kicks it out to Lou Dort, wide open left wing three. And there is another one, and the three-point party continues for the Thunder tonight, 68-45. Grayson Allen driving it down to his left, blows past the defense, gets in the lane, kicks it up top to Brooks, a straightaway three for him trying to answer, and he does just that. Answers right back with a three of his own, back to 20. Got a long way to go, though. They got a long way to go. We are under a minute now. We'll sync up the timer, 45 seconds. SGA has it up top. He's going to wind down some clock. Got Royce O'Neal on him. SGA, one-on-one, dancing with it, coming to his left, driving it down, step back, kicks it over. Lou Dort, another three. Lou Dort, another basket. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Wasn't even a good look for Lou Dort. Defense was all over him, and he said, it don't matter. I'm feeling it right now. I'm firing it up there, and he knocked it down. Here comes Grayson Allen bringing it down the other way, crosses over to his right. He puts up the straightaway three, can't get it to go, battle for the rebound. Thunder able to box out and grab a good rebound. SGA will bring it down for the final shot of the quarter. Shot clock is off. They'll wind it down as long as he can. They already have the 23-point lead, 71-48. SGA coming to his right. SGA is going to dance with it. Inside pass to Wallace. Pump fakes, kicks it up top. J-Dub, wide open three. Another one. I add another one to the tally for the Oklahoma City Thunder at the buzzer. Ran perfect offense to get it off just in time before the buzzer got off. And, of course, he knocked it down. 74-48 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. A 26-point lead has opened up as the three-point party got opened up to end the quarter here. Some bad defensive rotations from the Suns, overreacting to SGA and leaving the shooters wide open. Oof. Kay Hazy said, ridiculous. I mean, it's just everybody's a threat. Everybody's a threat. I would say SGA doesn't play the fourth, maybe not even the third anymore. He's definitely going to play the third, but hasn't played the fourth in, I think, 13 or 14 games so far this year. You know, I said, yeah, OKC defensive guard, way too tough for these guys. Give me Booyah over all the Phoenix guards. Yeah, Gillespie is just, he's not ready for this. Just not ready for this. Looks way, way overwhelmed so far tonight. You know, the Cinderella run had to come to an end at some point, and how fitting it comes to an end against the Thunder, the best perimeter defensive team in the league. So, there's that. And then, you know, the game started off with the Phoenix Suns win the tip. They get it over to Gillespie. He's bringing it down. And then Kayson Wallace comes up, knocks it right out of his hands, comes down the other way and gets a layup, and that's how you start the game. So that's the pressure Gillespie's been dealing with. He is not ready for that kind of pressure, so they're forcing guys like Royce O'Neal, guys like Dylan Brooks to have to do a majority of the ball handling so far tonight, Grayson Allen. And, you know, when those three guys are the guys you're relying on to handle the basketball, put yourself in a tough spot, right? Suns Jen said, I love that the Suns team doesn't give up, but woo, OKC is incredible. Yeah, man, I mean, it's just difficult. No Devin Booker, no Jalen Green. Like, who are you looking to? Who are you looking to score the basketball? Like, you know, Dylan Brooks is having a fantastic season so far this year, but, like, that's the guy you're going to have to rely to give you some buckets. You're relying on Royce O'Neal to handle the basketball because your guards can't handle it against the pressure that OKC's given right now. You know, it's a tough spot to be in, right? It's tough enough to beat them when your team is fully healthy. You know, not to mention your two best players are out with injury. It's going to be damn near impossible for Phoenix to pull this one off. And down 26 at halftime, that's how it's playing out. Dog catches the Thunder and deep rain dropping. I mean, when they knock down their threes at this level, I don't think there's any team in the league that can beat them. Yak said, OMG, we will have our hands full. We got to watch it, Yak. We got to watch it. We got to see where the Knicks match up. Win, lose, or draw. It's a good barometer test to see where you are to go up against the Thunder, because the Knicks don't go up against the Thunder until March, which is towards the end of the season, obviously. Both of their games come in March against the Thunder for the New York Knicks. So, to have an opportunity, to give yourself an opportunity to face the best team in the league and see how you match up and what you may need. Now, obviously, also, the Knicks are going to go into that game not fully healthy with no McBride and no Shamit. Even though those guys are like reliable bench players, you need all the firepower you can get against this OKC team. I said you cannot beat these guys unless you got a special name like Jamari Bouye. Sons Jen said the finals that should have been. I said, what's up with Deuce? Deuce is out with an ankle sprain. Last we heard, he was going to get more MRI tests, to just kind of fully evaluate the extent of the injury. But as far as we know, they've listed him as out with a sprained ankle. So hopefully it's just a sprained ankle, not anything more than that. The injury occurred when he went to the basket, missed the layup, and Desmond Bane was contesting it, and Desmond Bane, dirty self, fell on top of Deuce McBride, and he rolled his ankle in some way. I don't know what it was. Can't really tell in the replay that they showed. But he's out with an injured ankle. So they did give him an X-ray and all of that, so nothing broken. But last we heard, he was getting more MRI tests to see the extent of the injury. Yak said, I will be watching and hoping. That's all anybody can do against the Thunder. You hope. You just hope. I said, I'm really starting to hate that guy, Bane. Yeah, he's not ingratiating himself to other fan bases, that's for sure. Bible said, trade rumor mill. Too early in the season to really hear rumors. Half the league can't even be traded until December 15th. You might hear about some small trades starting to heat up a little bit, but you won't hear major trades start to heat up until February when you start approaching the trade deadline. Yak said, we need to protect the ball. Yeah. No McBride, no shame. It's going to hurt because you have to stay close to those guys. And if you have Jordan Clarkson and Tyler Kolek out there, they're not nearly the threat from three-point range, so you could play off of those guys much farther. Yak said, Pacers competed with defense. Yes. The way you're going to give yourself an opportunity to beat this OKC team is to limit their offense. They have a really good offense, right? They have a great offense. They have great offensive talent. But their great offense is bred from the fact that they have the best offensive player in the league, one of the best offensive players in the league, if not the best offensive player in the league, in SGA. They're definitely the best one-on-one player in the league. So, if you can slow their offense down by forcing them to keep the ball in SGA's hands and allow him to continue to go one-on-one all night, you're going to give yourself an opportunity. You're going to give yourself an opportunity to win. The OKC bread and butter is their defense and allowing their defense to lead their offense. So if you can limit your turnovers and then guard them up defensively, you'll give yourself a chance to win. That is kind of the blueprint of beating them. It's obviously easier said than done, but you're not going to out-defense them, right? You're not going to score 130 points against this defense. They are literally one of the greatest defenses in history based off of all of the defensive metrics. Helen, what's up, Helen? 1.6 odds, third quarter OKC. We'll see. Namar said, we'll be back for the Magic game on Saturday. Yeah, we will be back with the Knicks game on Saturday. We will be watching the Friday game for sure. Friday, we're going to watch our third. It's crazy we're watching this matchup again. Our third Pistons versus Hawks game. Just for whatever reason, these guys seem to be matched up every other Friday when the Knicks don't play. So we will be live for the Knicks games. We're going to watch both games on Saturday because why not? Knicks play 5:30 on Saturday, so we could do both games. We'll do both NBA Cup games. Yak said Bridges on SGA. What is what I would try first? Yeah, you have to do Bridges on SGA because you have to put Anunoby on J-Dub, right? Is where I would probably go. Yak said Bridges on SGA is what I would try first. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to do that, but they're gonna run him off a bunch of screens. They're gonna get switches and whatnot. We'll see. We'll see how the matchups play out. Really wish we could have had McBride for that game, but with his injury, it doesn't look like he'll be healthy enough. I said best offensive player is Jokic. Damn it. Yeah, that's why I corrected myself. I agree with you. That's why I corrected myself and said one of. Jokic is definitely the best offensive player in the league. And the best overall. I agree with you. He's still the best player in the league. Doesn't mean you win MVP, though. I mean, ask Jordan. Why he's only sitting with, 4 MVPs? Ask LeBron why he's only sitting with 4 MVPs. They just get tired of giving you the MVP when you're the best player in the league. Onyema said SGA MVP this season. Probably with the level of dominance that the Thunder are playing with this year as a team. If team wins 70 some odd games, you're gonna say, okay, what's the engine of that team? Oh, it's SGA. Oh, he's also having the most efficient 30-plus point season of all time. Yeah, he's gonna win the MVP. I said, okay, you finally hit it. It's voter fatigue and nothing more. It's definitely more. There's definitely more to it. It's not just voter fatigue. Like I said, if a team wins 70-plus games and you look at, okay, well, why did they win 70-plus games? Who's the engine of that team? Oh, it's SGA. Okay, well, what is SGA doing? Oh, he's having the most efficient 30-plus point scoring season in NBA history. Okay, yeah, that guy probably deserves the MVP this year. He led a 70-plus win team, and he's having the most efficient scoring season of all time for a guy averaging over 30 a game, over 32 a game. Yeah, give him the MVP. He had the best overall season. Yak said, I had no idea you would be this dominant all-around game. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he's even improved the three-point shooting. Last year, he shot it. Matter of fact, we can take a look at it. We are at halftime. No, I mean, we don't really have to go with the box score. They're down 26 points. Not much to really go over. But what I do want to look at is SGA's overall improvement from last year. Go to the roster. Go down to SGA, which is down here with the S's. Oh, he's up here with the G's. My bad. We go to his stats compared to last season. He shot from three-point range, 37.5%. Very respectable, very good. Very solid three-point shooting for him last year, 37.5%. This year he's shooting 44. So you can't even play off of him a little bit and dare him to shoot. Because if you do, he's knocking it down at a 44% clip. It's ridiculous. David M7, I think we need to add another piece or two to stack up the OKC. You could say that about every team. OKC is the most dominant, deepest team in the league. You can say that about any team. No team matches up with them player for player. So, yeah, the Knicks do need to add more talent for sure, but every team needs to add more talent in order to match up with OKC. Namar said, was asking with Miles McBride back for Saturday's game. He's probably not going to be back. Would highly, highly doubt it. Kinar said, bottom line is that Jokic drags Denver farther than SGA pushes OKC because OKC outside of SGA is way better than Denver. Sure. But that's never been the barometer of who wins the MVP, brother. Never been the barometer. Right? That sentence you said right there is just you saying in a longer form, Jokic is the best player in the league, which we can all agree with, right? But the best player in the league does not get the MVP every season. We have established that. We know. It is a silly topic to even discuss because we know already. Yak said McBride shooting 44%, but half the shot attempts. Yeah, I mean that's his role. We talk about it all the time in the pregame for the Knicks games. With Deuce McBride, his biggest value to the Knicks are two things: point of attack defense, 3-point shooting. And so losing both of those things after you already lost Shamit with point of attack defense and 3-point shooting, puts you behind the 8 ball. So, you don't have as large of a margin as other teams because now you're relying on guys like Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson. So there you go. I said not true. It is when the best player MVP when his team is at least second. If Denver finishes second by all history, he should be MVP. If Denver does not make second, then you're right. I mean, we can go to the standings. Denver has some bad losses on their schedule. Has some bad losses on their thing. The West is a little jumbled up, though. Denver's in at third. They're 17-6. They're tied for second with the Lakers. They'll be right there. They'll be bad. They're tied in the loss column with the Rockets. Spurs are one behind in the loss column. Timberwolves not far away. They're 2.5 games out. So, long season left. Long season left. Talking about MVP, 25 games of the season, brother. I don't really care about it. Yak said OKC is the better team. Doesn't mean SGA isn't having the better year. No, but it is comparable. It is a discussion for sure. Lana Mona said, is this a cup game? It is a cup game. It is a cup game. Absolutely. Kinar said, Denver has to make second in the West for Jokic to have a shot. Yeah, for sure. Team success matters. So, if Jokic is going to be, he's in the conversation. SGA is not the definite MVP winner. Jokic is definitely in the conversation. He's averaging a triple-double yet again. Denver's fantastic. All of the things. He's the best player in the league. He's having a fantastic year. So, definitely not just like SGA, but he's leading the pack right now. Right? He's leading the pack. Jokic wants a chance at winning the MVP, which he has stated multiple times. He don't even really care. Denver has to finish with a 60-plus wins, probably even like 64-ish wins, like mid-60s wins. In order for him to really get serious consideration to overcome SGA. Right now, SGA is leading him. He's leading him. Jokic is right there behind him, for sure. Hassan Koulibaly, what's up, Hassan? Who y'all got, SGA versus Luka? As like individual players, if we're saying who's the better player, SGA is the better player. Luka's not far behind, but the defense definitely separates them. Kinara said, and yes, Jordan should have had more. We all know this, Kinara. We all know this. Jordan should have like 10 MVPs. LeBron should have like 10 MVPs. Kareem should have like 10 MVPs. We know this, brother. We know this. Kinara said, the shame is that the vote is not held after the finals. It's a regular season award. It's not a full season award. It's a regular season award. There is a finals MVP award. So if you want the finals MVP, make it to the finals and win the championship. Here we go. We're back in to start the third quarter. Thunder come out with the ball. They're up 26 points. Can the Phoenix Suns make this interesting? Holmgren has it in the left corner. He's going to dance with it against Mark Williams. Pump fake, spins off of him. Lefty layup. Got it to go. Beautiful move from Chet Holmgren. Just took him to school, man. Yak said less than half of us in the chat hit the like. White dude calls a better game than some professionals. Appreciate you, Yak. Appreciate you. If you're in the chat and enjoying the show, please go ahead and hit the like button. I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you, Yak. Grayson Allen heaves it up at the rim looking for a foul call. They don't give it to him. He flopping all over the place. It's out of bounds. Ball going back to the Thunder. You can't be down 26 points looking to flop all over the place, Grayson Allen. Come on, brother. Have some shame. SGA has it up top. They get it over to J-Dub. Hesitates. Attacking Mark Williams off the bounce. Scoop play with the right hand. Got it to go. And it is now a 30-point beatdown from the Oklahoma City Thunder over the Phoenix Suns. Had to expect it, but come on, Phoenix. Grayson Allen down the lane. Can't get the finish over Holmgren. It's a loose ball. Diving all over the court for it. Grayson Allen able to pull it out. They swing it up top to Brooks. Over to O'Neal. Catching fire from three. Can't get that one to go. Battle for the loose ball. J-Dub picks it up. I never even restarted the timer with 10:30 to go here in the third. Not looking great tonight. SGA with the scoop layup, and he got it to go. 32-point beatdown. Not looking great. And a timeout for the Suns already. They only have 3 timeouts remaining. You know, I said I saw a vid this afternoon of Grayson making a move with the ball, took 6 steps, and didn't get called for a travel. Yeah, we covered that game. He did that against Minnesota Timberwolves. He did the double step back, which is already a travel, and then pump faked, and then pivoted forward, and then took another step, leaned in, and took the shot. Took about 5 or 6 steps, and they did not call the travel. We just got to get back to calling those travels, man. We give the offense way too much freedom to do whatever they want. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Suns Jen said, I'm convinced those Cubs courts are pure rage bait. Yeah, I mean, Adam Silver he doesn't know how to connect with the NBA fans, man. Like, everything he's done has been the exact opposite of what fans want out of the league. You know, the only thing he's kind of hit on is that these tournament games are really fun and entertaining to watch, and I think people do gravitate towards watching them. But, you know, I've always advocated for, let's have normal courts, maybe have the city edition courts that the NBA is going with now, that they've introduced this year. I like those city edition courts for the most part. I think most of them are pretty damn beautiful. But stick with the regular brown hardwood court. Like, that's how basketball is supposed to be played. And go with a colored basketball to indicate that it's a Cub game, right? You could either go back to the ABA ball for some nostalgia. You could have, like, every team has a special colored home ball, right? Like, if you're the Knicks, you could have a blue and orange ball. Like, that's different. That's interesting. It doesn't change the visual of the court. You're not, like, being blinded by, like, a bright blue court or a yellow court or a neon green court, which is what we've seen some of these teams with. But if you have a different ball, it indicates to the people watching it, like, oh, that's different. Different. The ball is different. Why is the ball different? Oh, it's a Cup game? Oh, I see. So they use a different ball for the Cup game? Is it any different? No, it's the same ball. It's just colored. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like the ABA ball? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. You know, a nice homage, a throwback to old school basketball. I think people would really appreciate that. Older fans would appreciate that. I mean, I think the ABA ball is just a beautiful basketball with the red, blue, and the white. It looks cool when you shoot it and you see the spin on the ball. You can see each colors flying through the air. It looks really cool. You know, I said that was my idea, the ABA ball in normal courts. Yeah, let's stop messing around with the courts. Again, if you really wanted to mess around with the courts, I like feed off of nostalgia if you're the NBA. Feed off of nostalgia. Use the older school logos for the courts. Use the ABA ball to signify that it's a different game, so you'll have different logos on the court for the teams. Right? Like the Knicks City Edition court with that classic logo is a gorgeous court, right? Go back to that for NBA Cup games. Get rid of the colored courts. It's ugly. It's dangerous. Players have advocated against it all season long. Like, the courts are slippery with all this paint on it. It's ugly. No one likes to see it. There haven't been any nice colored courts where I haven't seen anybody watch these colored courts and go, oh, wow, that's actually a really nice court. No, they're all like, I guess that one's fine. But nobody likes them. You know what I mean? Get these colored courts out of here. Holmgren has it up top. We're back into it. They get over to SGA, a right corner three. Can't get it to go. Mark Williams with the rebound. Here come the Suns. And a foul by Kayson Wallace on Royce O'Neal as he's bringing it down. Yak said, as a kid, we were taught 1.5 steps. You better be jumping or passing after that. Yeah. I mean, I understand. I understand implementing, like, the gather rule. It's different, where you're allowed 2 steps after you gather the ball, not after the steps and whatnot. Like, I get that, right? So it looks more like 3, maybe even sometimes 4 steps, but I get it. Oh, we're only counting the 2 steps after together. I get that. That's stretching the rule, but I get it. As the game is modernized, I get it with the more freedom of the movement stuff. I don't understand the double step back not being a travel. I don't understand after you've already picked up. I don't understand being able to pick up your pivot foot after you've already picked up your dribble. I don't understand that. Doesn't make sense to me. Grayson Allen inside the Mark Williams goes up against Lou Dort, gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. But they're down 32 points, so We're going to let this, we can talk about whatever we want. Keenar said, yeah, and bring in Artis Gilmore and George Gervin if they're still alive. I do believe George Gervin is still around. I'm not sure about Artis Gilmore. And have them waving at half court during a timeout or something. That's a little extra. Let those dudes relax and rest. Invite them to the games. Maybe not have them out on half court. Let them chill. Let them chill, man. Those are some old dudes. Mark Williams knocks down both of those free throws. J-Dub bringing it down, throws up the floater, gets a nice friendly bounce as he gets it to go down. Okay. Yak said the red Raptors court and red uniform was hard for me to see. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's a burden on the eyes. It really is. SGA picked up a steal, got out on the fast break, and got a layup to go. SGA, we had another steal. It had to Lou Dort. Lou Dort leaves it off for Chet Holmgren, lost the handle. SGA is going to pick it up. Throws up a lob, and Chet Holmgren gets a two-handed slam, and it's a 36-point beatdown. And they're looking to embarrass the Suns right now. My goodness. Nick Yak said jump step, and they still take a step after the shoot. Yeah. That play that Kinahara was referencing earlier, I'll try to demonstrate it for you. So Grayson Allen has it, and he's driving it down, and he does the James Harden step back, the double step back, which is a travel, in which he drives it down, stops and picks up his dribble, and then takes a 1, 2, 3 to establish. And you know what? Fine. I understand that they don't want to call that a travel. It's technically on the gather, so it's 3 steps, but they call that third step a gather step, and that's how they legislate it. Okay, fine. You know what? Fine. I'll give you that. I'll give it to you. So that's not a travel. But now he pump fakes out of it. They do a good job of closing out on him, so he doesn't want to take that shot. Now he establishes a pivot foot. Okay. I think that's travel because you've already taken your 2/3 steps. So I don't even think you're allowed to have a pivot foot after that. That's my opinion. But now he establishes a pivot foot. And so he pivots around the defense, picks up the pivot foot he established, jumps forward off the other foot, and throws up a floater from the three-point line, and he got it to go. That's like 4 or 5 steps right there. It's really like 5 or 6. It's really like 5 or 6. What's the score right now? 54-86. All right, we don't have to call every single play at this point because the game is over. We could have some fun. And another foul's called on OKC. It's going to send Phoenix to the line. They can cut it to 30, y'all. They can cut it to 30. Kinar said, and they pick up the pivot foot. What the F? Yeah. I don't agree with being able to pick up the pivot foot. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think once you establish your pivot foot, that pivot foot can no longer lean the ground unless you jump up off the ground. But let's say my left foot is my pivot foot, right? Let's say my left foot's my pivot foot. Fine. You establish your pivot foot. That's legal. You can pivot on it all you want. You can do a 360 on this pivot foot as long as you don't move, pick up the pivot foot, or slide it off the ground. But what people are doing and what they're allowing players to do now is you could step forward with the right foot, lift your pivot foot up, and jump forward. Brunson does this a little bit too, and I absolutely hate it. Yak said horrible if that's not a travel. It's not a travel. They don't call it a travel. They allow you to do it. 86-56. The 30-point game. The Suns and Jordan are going to use a travel here. I said it was 5 or 6 steps. Totally ridiculous. Incredibly ridiculous. We could pull it up, actually, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Because this game's not going well. We're going to stick around to the end because we are doing the game after anyway. But we could talk about whatever we want at this point until the Phoenix Suns give us a reason to care. Let's see if we could find it. Not it. This is it. Pause it. Bring it over. Let's watch it together, y'all. Let's watch it together. Here's Grayson Allen. Let me get down here. You get down here. Here's Grayson Allen. They're going to swing the ball over to them. He's going to drive to his left. He's going to take the contact, realize he can't get all the way to the basket, so he's going to do the James Harden double step back here. Boom, boom. And you know what? Fine. They want to legislate that's not a travel. Okay, fine. Because technically that's 1-2 after the initial gather when he picked up the ball. Fine. Technically 3, but they call that a gather step, so I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It's modern basketball, rules changes, whatever. Fine. I'll allow that. Step back for Grayson Allen. There, right there. Here's the thing. That right foot is now his pivot foot, right? So now you've established a pivot foot. Now I think, my personal opinion, is that you can no longer utilize your pivot foot after taking the 2 steps. Because at that point, to me, that's now a 3rd step, even though you've already used the 3rd step, so technically that's a 4th step, right? But they're going to allow him to establish his right foot as the pivot foot right here. Right, so we're going to continue it. He pump fakes. Now he's going to utilize that pivot foot to step through with the left foot. I'll allow it. I'm already allowing a lot. It's already been a travel, right? I'm already allowing a lot. So now he steps forward with his left foot off the pump fake, but here's the thing that drives me crazy. And let me even step out of the way even further. Let me go this way. This is the thing that drives me crazy even further. Oh my goodness, I hate this with a passion. So he's already taken 3 steps. He's established a pivot foot. He's now taking a 4th step. This is what I hate. This is what I hate. You should not be allowed to lift up this leg if you're still on the ground. If you're going to lift up this leg, you need to jump in the air off of both feet. But they allow Grayson Allen to step through and lift up that pivot foot and take another step. How does that make sense? And he goes off that 1 foot, heaves up the shot, and he gets it to go down. How does that make sense, y'all? You know, I said I don't allow any of that crap. I'm trying to understand the rationale, Kinahar. I've already established that it's multiple walks already. I've already established that this move right here is already a walk. I've already established that. But like I said, I'll allow it for modern basketball. I'll allow this. You know what? Rules change, the games change, it evolves. I will allow it. The game's changed. Fine. I'll allow that. I'll allow it. I don't like it, but I will allow it, right? This I don't allow. Now you're going to establish a pivot foot after taking your 2 steps, which is technically 3 steps with the gather. Now you're going to utilize a pivot? Okay, fine. You know what? Fine. I'll even give that to you. This I cannot allow, though. Lifting up the pivot foot should be illegal. If you establish a pivot foot, the only way for you to lift it up is for you to jump off of both of your feet at the same time. It is ridiculous. This should not count. This should not be able to be allowed. How much more leeway are we going to give offensive players? At this point, you're just legislating out the ability to guard anybody at any point. Right? It is insane. It is insane. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's 88-56, by the way, and here comes OKC. Onyema said, wow, that's crazy traveling. It is. It is. It absolutely is. Just that said it's the European gather plus the step back. I don't know about that, brother. I don't know about that. Sons Jen said, it'll get worse when they are forced to start calling it. The thing, though, is that I don't think they're going to start calling it, man. I really just don't think they're going to start calling it. It's 58-56, still a 30-point game. The Suns can get it under 20, I'll start to get interested again. But until then, we're just going to have some fun here tonight. Blue Dort misses a 3. Yak said, lifting the leg is the half step. I mentioned earlier, we couldn't put it down if you took a step before the half step. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. I know. This is how I also grew up playing basketball. Things change fast. I think it's just ridiculous, though. I think it makes the game look ridiculous. I don't think it's healthy for the game. I don't think it makes it more entertaining. I don't think any of that. I think it's ridiculous. You know, I said palming and carrying totally out of control. Well, you have guys who are 6'10", like the ball is like a tennis ball to them. So, you know, like I get that that's helped. It's also helped the game helped the game be more entertaining by allowing players to be more creative with their ball handling. So, you know, if players still had to dribble like this, it'd be a far less entertaining product. So I understand the palming and the carrying. I get that. I get allowing a lot of that to happen. I totally get it. That I understand. The travel, though, we're already giving them so much leeway, including the carrying and the ball handling. Like I said, I'll give them that leeway. I'll give the offense that leeway. But The other stuff, I can't, man. I can't. You can't keep taking if you're the offense. When does the defense get some things, right? It's 91-53. Holmgren gets an and one putback. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is. It was 91, by the way. They knocked down the three previously. Now Holmgren gets a rebound and a putback off the offensive glass. I said Naismith basically said that palming and carrying him makes it football, and Naismith invented the damn game. Yeah, he invented the game over 100 years ago, brother, so I don't really care what he said. Let's not do that. 100 years ago, yeah, times have changed, brother. No kidding. No kidding, times have changed. I don't really care what that guy has to say. 94-58. I mean, this game is more likely to hit 40 before it hits 20 again. This is crazy. Okay, so he said Knicks versus Thunder incoming. Knicks have to get through the Magic, man. Magic are no joke. Kevin PK said, are you doing the Lakers tonight? We are going to do the Spurs versus Lakers game tonight. Kinar said, I will not give them the leeway to carry. It looks terrible and eliminated the true skill of handles to the point guard. Young fans think the guy sucked. No. Palming and carrying existed in the 80s and existed in the 90s. It got worse in the 90s with Isaiah Iverson. But again, Allen Iverson. But that's when the game got really fun. So don't be old, brother. Don't be old. J-Dub, there's a little bit of fracas on the court. J-Dub hyping himself up, hyping the fans up. They're up by, what are they up, 36? Okay. Okay. Darnell reminding people of the like button. Appreciate you, Darnell. Appreciate you. Hit the like button for staying live through this 30-point beatdown. Jet comes over, tries to body up with Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen just two-hand shoves him to the ground. And J-Dub is like, hey, man, what's up with that? And then Grayson Allen walks away. And a lot of the pushing and shoving. Really a whole lot of nothing. Grayson Allen's like, all right, dude. And he walks away. J-Dub trying to pump up the fan in the crowds. I mean, you're up 36, brother. You're up 36. Judge, that's at 36 has got to be a record this year for Cup games by far. I don't know. Larry Rugo, what's up, Larry? My goodness, Thunder awesome, dangerous. I mean, they're on pace to be the greatest NBA team in history, right? Suns Jen said, oh no, a kerfuffle. A kerfuffle has occurred. Flagrant 2 and Grayson Allen for the. We went to set a screen. Instead of like setting a screen, Holmgren came to him. He two-handed shoved him. So they're just going to kick him out of the game. Make sure this doesn't escalate. It's already a 36-point blowout. They don't want anything to occur. Going to get him out of there. That's flagrant 2 on Grayson Allen. Judge, that said, Lakers are anti-color court, as they should be, as every other team should be. Players should publicly come out and condemn the ridiculously colored courts so we can get them out of here. My clock is not starting? Oh, I forgot. I said, oh, nice, more booyah. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, OKC. But this game's over. So we don't have to keep track of what's going on. Holmgren missed one of the free throws, knocks down the second one. So it's 95-58. Yeah, I said, how about carrying nowadays while dribbling the players holding the ball a little before re-dribbling Some crossovers I've seen. Yeah, I mean, that gets ridiculous for sure. That, I wouldn't mind seeing called to carry for sure. If you hold it in the air for like longer than half a second, for sure I could see that. J-Dub, a step back three, throws up the air ball. Lou Dort was right there for the rebound. Back to Lou Dort, corner three. If he knocks that down, he missed it. We're under 5 to go here in the third quarter. Let's not. If I'm the referee, I'm looking away for any foul calls the remainder of the game just to get this one over. Speaking of foul calls, Dylan Brooks able to draw a foul. He's going to go to the foul line with 2 free throws. We got to get past this game for sure, man. For sure. So we likely won't see the rest of the Thunder starters after this quarter is over, as we've seen large parts of the season. Nick Richards makes an appearance. We talked about Nick Richards in the pregame. It's crazy to me that he is not a part of the rotation. I think he's a quality big in this league at some level. So if I'm a team like maybe even the Lakers could use a backup big. Who's another team that could use a backup big? Another team that could use a backup big. Plenty of teams that use backup bigs. I'd go out and get Nick Richards. He's not a part of the rotation. I think he's pretty solid. SGA has it up top, attacking to his left. Foul line, fall away jumper. Can't get it to go. How many points does SGA have? Got 26 already. All right. 20-point streak continues. Dylan Brooks, a right wing three. Airballs it. Dunn saves it, but right to J-Dub. Home run pass to Lou Dort. Lou Dort gets the layup and the foul on Dylan Brooks. He's going to go to the foul line for one more. This is threatening to get up to 40. Now threatening to get up to 40. Judge Dad said, Grayson Allen flagrant foul 2. Made my bingo card complete. Yeah, he was due for one. I talked about in the pregame how he's kind of been forgettable this year because he hasn't really gotten into a fracas, and there he is picking up a flagrant 2. There he is picking up a flagrant 2 on national TV. So Dort knocks down his and one free throw. It is a 38-point beatdown. And here comes Jordan Goodwin. Goodwin coming to his right, down the lane, throws up the floater, got it to go. All right, have some respect for yourselves, Phoenix. Don't let this get to 40. Have some respect. SGA step back midi, got it to go. Not much you can do about that. Suns Gen said he hasn't done that the whole time he's played for the Suns. I believe that's a first. The Suns get a steal. Holmgren fires a straightaway 3. And there's the 40. There's the 40 ball. Just as I was saying, have some respect for yourselves. It's a good point, Suns Gen. It's just, interesting that it's, national TV game for everybody to see. And if that's the first time he's done it here with the Suns, now everybody thinks he still does it all the time. Suns Gen said anger management issue. Yeah, for sure. For sure. He's a little angry dude. That's for sure. Keenar said, give me points at a good win and then get Booyah in there. We need more Booyah for sure. He's in the game. There he is. Booyah is in there, along with Jordan Goodwin. I was full of energy. I was caffeinated up. I was ready to go for the doubleheader, and the Phoenix Suns are putting me to sleep tonight. I get it. You're playing the Thunder. Thunder are incredible. You're missing your 2 best players. I don't blame the Suns, but have some more respect. You can't be down 43 points, my guys. As the Suns just scored. They get it over to Ryan Dunn, a right corner 3. He can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball. Here come the Suns pushing it down the other way. Aaron Wiggins out to Caruso. A 3 from him. Monkey Man, do you think SGA will be back in the game? Probably not, brother. Probably not. He hasn't played in 14 fourth quarters this year, and tonight's probably going to mark the 15th. Jones Jen said he gets frustrated and doesn't control himself. Yeah, that's going back to his high school days. It's going back to his college days, especially at Duke. So, Is that. CEO King said, need 3 points from Mark Williams. I hope he plays in the fourth. Probably not. Probably not. You know, Mark Williams with a litany of injuries throughout his career, you're probably not going to throw him out there in a meaningless game in the fourth quarter here. Booyah has it in the paint. Kicks out to Gillespie. Gillespie stepped back, all the way foul line jumper. Got it to go. There you go, Gillespie. Is that his first points of the night? Colin Gillespie. His first points of the night. 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Colin Gillespie. Said Portland is underrated. They've kind of come back down to earth a little bit. Now, they don't have any point guards healthy. So that's one thing. They don't have any point guards healthy. They need Scoot Henderson back. They need Drew Holiday back. And I think then they could really start to make a push for the play-in. But until then. A.J. Mitchell over to Jalen Williams. Inside pass to Caruso. Caruso flipped it up, got blocked, or maybe tried to throw an alley-oop. I don't know. It was an air ball, though. Comes Gillespie. Jackson Richardson trading one to the Lakers. Yeah, the Lakers could use another big. I mean, Jackson Hayes isn't the greatest. As the backup big. I said Kamara, Abdia, Young Sharp. Yeah, I mean, they've got players for sure, but you need a point guard out there to help organize them. They were really good. They were the underrated team that you were talking about when Drew Holiday was healthy, and they had a point guard out there to help guide things and be a leader on the court. But since Holiday went down, because he's old and he probably shouldn't be your starting point guard, they've really struggled. Goodwin knocks down a 3. How about that, Keenahar? There's Goodwin. Keenahar said Scoot is out and Drew. Yeah, if they can get those 2 point guards back, like I said, then we'll start seeing that feisty Portland team we saw earlier in the year back. We're under a minute. A.J. Mitchell knocks down a little jumper in the paint. It's 67 to 107. It's a 40-point beatdown. Gillespie gets the ball ripped out of his hands. Home run pass to Caruso. Caruso's going to hold it up. Kenrich Williams is going to hold it up. I said, yeah, what happened with Holiday? Just injured. I can look up his injury right now. Goodwin with another basket, Keenahara. Goodwin with another basket. Gets the goaltend there. We can look up Portland. See, Portland right now is 9-15. They are at the 10th seed, so they're probably going to make the play-in, but Dallas right behind them. They're not going out quietly. Not going down without a fight. But we can go to Portland. We go to their injuries. We could see Drew Holiday is out with a calf strain. And Scoot Henderson has yet to play this year. He's out with a hamstring. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 to 4 weeks. That was November 21st. So probably around now. We're going to start to hear some news about Scoot Henderson. End of the third quarter, 110 to 72. Absolutely disgusting performance here from the Suns. And I get it. They're down a bunch of players. Down their 2 best players. But still, man. 40 is crazy. I said good win again for the win. Darnell said, they have another quarter, not good for the Suns. Yeah. Does that should automatically switch to the Lakers stream? Not yet. We'll switch at the time in which we're supposed to switch. We'll switch at 10. We'll give it another 30 minutes. Yak said, Portland owes Holiday 2 more years, $30 million per year, overpaid Boston. Yeah, I mean, they didn't trade for Drew Holiday because they thought, like, Drew Holiday is going to be an awesome player for them. They traded for Drew Holiday because he's a really good vet to have around. They needed a mentor for what's his name? For Scoot Henderson. They wanted to move off of Simons. They finally moved off of Simons. They didn't know Damian Lillard was going to become available. And also, Drew Holiday's still a valuable player. Again, when he was healthy and playing, they were a really feisty, underrated team. They're still the only team to defeat the Thunder this year. So it was definitely more than worth it for the Portland Trailblazers to go out and get Drew Holiday. Tay Too Famous, what's up, Tay? Do you think Dillon Brooks can get one assist and one more bucket? I'd be very surprised if we see Dillon Brooks play here in the fourth quarter, but maybe. I said, right, moving Simons was the right move for sure. I like Holiday a lot. Yeah, me too. Holiday, even at an older stage in his career, is just really valuable, really additive, really smart basketball player. He's more suited for coming off the bench at this point in his career. And I think that's the idea. Start Scoot Henderson and bring Holiday off the bench to, and Holiday will play the normal amount of minutes he plays and whatnot. But with Scoot Henderson starting the year injured, you were forced to play Drew Holiday a lot more than you wanted to. And, he ends up hurt because he's old. He's an old man. I said, all right, now I want to see a Booyah quarter. I mean, something, Phoenix. Give us something to root for tonight. Give us some level of entertainment. The Suns played them competitively last time. The Thunder certainly circled back to fix that error. Yeah, I mean, you guys had Devin Booker playing. I remember that game. So, again, they didn't have anybody who could handle the perimeter pressure. Shows how important Devin Booker is, especially against a team like the Thunder who could apply a ton of pressure. So, Darnell said quickly for Kolek, straight up. If only, brother, if only. Yak said they also gave Boston 2 seconds in the deal they got back when Holiday had a bad medical checkup. Yeah, but you're not just trading for a basketball player. You know what I mean? Like, you're trading for a guy to hang around your organization. Like, those guys are extremely valuable to have. Ryan Dunn throws it to nobody. Who's out there? Booyah. We should be seeing some Kaman Maluwak as well. Throw some Maluwak out there. Check out the rookie. Let's see. Who do we have out there? Who do we got out there? Also, my score is way off. Jalen Williams misses a 3. It is 110 to 72. Who's on the court here? Nigel Hayes-Davis from Indiana, right? If I remember correctly. Ryan Dunn, Nick Richards, Jordan Goodwin, and Jamari Bouye. And then for the Thunder, you got Jalen Williams, big man Jalen Williams. J-Dub is done for the night. Ousmane Dieng. That was a pick that the Knicks sent over to Oklahoma City because they didn't want that pick. That was a lottery pick, by the way, too. So, maybe a good trade for the Knicks at that point because Ousmane Dieng doesn't seem like an NBA player. Brandon Carlson, Aaron Wiggins, AJ Mitchell. Where's Kaman Maluwak? Bring my man Maluwak in. I said, yeah, Toronto's not giving IQ back. We already stole OG. Yeah, I don't think Toronto wants to make a trade with the Knicks anytime soon after that one. Although I will tell you, they got good value. RJ's good. Quickly's good. So they got 2 good players back. They just got to be healthy. Speaking of Ousmane Dieng, I was talking trash, but there he is knocking down a 3. Harrison, Maluwak got stuck behind Mark Williams and Nick Richards. No, yes, but he actually got stuck behind Mark Williams and Oso Iguodala. Nick Richards is also stuck behind those guys. So Maluwak is 3rd on their depth chart. Not 3rd. He's 4th on the depth chart, which is crazy. They used a lottery pick on a big man, and he's stuck behind 3 other big men. I assume a consolidation trade is on the way for the Phoenix Suns because you got to give your big man some time here in the second half of the season, especially. Not like you're going to be doing a whole lot in the second half of the year. They'll be in the play-in mix already. So, I said, right, I forgot about Iguodala. I think it's crazy that Iguodala is ahead of Nick Richards in the lineup. I would have thought Nick Richards would have been ahead of Iguodala, but, obviously I haven't watched the Suns enough to have a full opinion on that. I just assumed. Sons Jensen, Malwak, Man, is getting a lot of time in the G League. That's cool. That's cool. He was, what, the 10th overall pick? Like, I'd like him to get some NBA level experience. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe he's just, some guy, development is not linear. Some guys are more ready than others. But, you use the 10th overall pick on him, and you have 3 other centers ahead of him in the depth chart. Second half of the year, I'd like to see him be moved up to at least third. At least third in the depth chart. I said Malawak just not that great. We don't know. We don't know for sure. We could say that because he's not playing and he's down in the depth chart, but we don't know that for sure because he doesn't play. Rasheer Fleming is in the game. I'm just waiting for Malawak. Is Malawak available if he's playing down in the G League? I think they're looking to trade Richards. They're definitely looking to trade Richards. You got to at some point. He's the oldest player in the rotation from the bigs. Malawak is in the game. There he is. Malawak has it up top. I mean, he's huge. He's a huge big man. So I know he's raw, but still. Brandon Carlson knocked down a 3, by the way. It's 121-74. He travels with the team. He's out there now. They're out there with Nigel Hayes-Davis, Rasheer Fleming, Kamal Malawak, Jordan Goodwin, Jamari Bouye. Malawak has it up top. Trying to direct some traffic. He's got nobody coming to him. Hand it off to Bouye. Throws up the floater. Got it to go. There's the floater, Kinhara. There's the Bouye floater. Just that the YouTube should switch it automatically is what I meant. Yeah, they should. If I'm redirecting you to the other stream, it should automatically send you to the stream, not giving you the option to click on it, right? Who's that? Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins misses the 3. Malawak with the rebound, and he's bringing the ball down. A little comfortable with the handle, which I like. Now I'm just going to be, intently watching Kamal Malawak and trying to get an opinion on him. I watched him a lot at Duke, but let's see what he looks like at the NBA level. Booyah, step back mid-range jumper. Halfway down, he can't get it to stay. Fight for the loose ball. And Nigel Hayes-Davis and Malawak fighting for it. It's knocked out of bounds by the Thunder, they say. I thought that was knocked out of bounds by the Suns, but either way. Shredded Bear, what's up, Shredded Bear? Yo, this is sad performance. Not great. Not a great performance for sure. 8 minutes to go, though. We're almost out of it, y'all. We're almost out of it. Got 30 minutes to go before the Lakers game. We should be right on time. They get over to Goodwin. Goodwin driving it down. Tries to leave it off for Malawak. A bad pass. Goodwin gets it back. Battle for the loose ball. Carlson has it. He's off and running. Suns Gent said, I'm not afraid to boo my own team. I mean, I think they played hard. They're down their 2 best players, their 2 best ball handlers, and, Ousmane Dieng knocks down a step back 3, or a long 2, my bad. A long 2 for him. 123-76. If this gets to 50, that's boo-worthy, brother. That's boo-worthy. I'm with you there. This gets to 50. Threatening to get there. Suns Jen said, Grayson Allen, I boo thee, sir. Keenar said it is 50. 47. 47 right now. Threatening to get to that 50 point. Knicks will be 2026 champs. My brother, my big man. What's up, big dog? I think the Knicks can beat OKC in a best of 7. I think they can. I think the possibility exists that they can do that for sure. Will they be favored? No. Will it be likely? No. But the opportunity will exist for sure. Moran, what's up, Moran? My team is dope finally. Let's go, Knicks. Love it. Oda Austin, what's up, Oda Austin? Good game? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I said you forgot to update the score. Oh, I did forget to update the score. My bad. It is. I mean, when the game gets to this point, I'm just, my mind goes away from keeping track of the score. It's 76-123. There you go. My bad. It is 47-point lead for Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns use yet another timeout. They only have 1 more remaining. Hara said Suns beast setting. Time's winding down. This is going to become the Kaman Maluak watch center here. We have 7.5 minutes to watch and evaluate Kaman Maluak in this blowout. So far, not doing a whole lot. He's got a rebound and an assist, which is nice. Let's see what he can do against Brandon Carlson and Ousmane Dieng. Moran said, I like the Suns. I want to see the Suns healthy. I have yet to watch the Suns with Devin Booker. Both of the games that we have watched, Devin Booker has missed. Obviously, Jalen Green has been out majority of the year. So I would like to see the Suns healthy and then evaluate them from there. I do like the Dillon Brooks, culture change that he's brought over. I think Mark Williams being able to play majority of this year has been nice, been fun. I said the most important thing here is that Goodwin hit the over, and we see Booyah. Yeah, and Goodwin is out there. He's 6 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. He's got 15 points. So he's getting his buckets. Booyah's got 10. He's getting his. Nick Yak said we would be big underdogs, but we could match up with them decently, especially if we play at our best or no chance. Yeah. I mean, that's the chance for the Knicks, is the Knicks have to play at their best. They have to be fully healthy. And then, of course, they would have a chance. But like you said, they'd be big underdogs. But anybody's going to be underdogs against this Thunder team. Who is that? Iguodaro? Iguodaro's out there with Maluak, and he misses the push shot and can't grab his rebound. So the Thunder are going to have the opportunity for a 50-point lead here. Keep that timer ticking, y'all. Keep that timer ticking. Jose NYC, what's up, Jose? Damn, OKC are straight killing the league. Yeah, it's getting scary out there for sure. It's getting scary. Maluak comes up with the steal. Came up with the steal on Kenrich Williams. Booyah bringing it down in the lane. Scoop play with the left hand pass Carlson. Got it to go. Jamari Booyah doing some things. Onyema, what's up? Onyema said Jang feasting tonight. I mean, he's got, 5 points? He's doing his thing. Iguodaro bringing it down. Get it to Maluak in the post, being guarded by Kenrich Williams. Faces up. Now he's going to back him down. Little fall-away jumper. Too strong, can't get it to go. That didn't look great. Didn't move Kenrich Williams whatsoever. I know he's a rookie, but, Didn't love that post up there for Maluak. Lob it over the top. Brandon Carlson, reverse dunk. Okay. Back to 27, under 6. AP, what's up, AP? Knicks better not get beat up like this. I mean, this is the Suns missing Jalen Green and Devin Booker, so they weren't going to have much of a chance anyway. Nigel Hayes-Davis misses the turnaround foul line jumper. Greg Prime, what's up, Greg? Is that score right? Score is 100% correct, 125-78. 3 for Chris Youngblood, and there is the 50-point lead. Yikes. I said, AP, that's not your role here. You have to say, Knicks gonna get crushed. I know it. That is your role play. This is crazy. This is just a crazy outcome. 50-point deficit is, I don't care who you are. I mean, the Utah Jazz didn't go down 50 against the Knicks the other day. Like, this is pathetic. Down the lane, Iguodaro gets a layup. Suns Gen said, being a Suns fan means being comfortable with national humiliation. Look, man, as a Knicks fan, I know all about national humiliation, my brother. So I get it. I get it. 4:40 to go. We're winding down the time, y'all. We're almost there. We're getting there. Lakers Spurs is on deck. We're almost to Lakers Spurs. Moran said Lakers next. Let's go Knicks. But it's James and Lakers. OKC versus New York Knicks. Knicks in 5. Knicks in 5 is crazy. We'll say. Ousmane Dieng dance with it. Knocks down the step back 3 there. Hey, you know who I wish I could do that? Facundo Davier, not going to lie. Nigel Hayes-Davis can't respond with a 3. Jalen Williams with the rebound. It's 131-80. Back to 51, largest lead of the game. Yak said, how long is Hardenstein out for? I think a couple of weeks. They throw the lob up to Brandon Carlson. Chris Youngblood with the assist. I mean, I don't even care. I don't even care. 4 minutes to go. Run the timer. Let's get this one over with, y'all. Darnell said, how do they make the tournament? They had Devin Booker available. That's how they made the tournament. JNR said, not only does Booyah have a crazy great last name, but his first name rhymes with the Knicks' best, with the best Nick between Ewing and Brunson. Jamari? Kenrich Williams, good contest there from Kaman Maluak. Get it over to Rasheer Fleming, a 3, and he got it to go. Okay. It is now back to a 50-point deficit. There's that. Listen, I thought a 30-point beatdown was embarrassing. You know? I thought 30 was bad. They're down by 50, y'all. They're down by 50. You know, I said, love Damari Stoudemire. You love Damari Stoudemire, really? I enjoyed him. Enjoyed him to a point. Enjoyed him to the point. Lanamoto said, bench cleared? Bench has been cleared, brother. Look who's in the game. Nigel Hayes-Davis, Iguodaro, Rasheer Fleming, Kaman Maluak, and Jamari Booyah for the Suns. For the Thunder, they got Jalen Williams, Ousmane Dieng, Brandon Carlson, Kenrich Williams, and Chris Youngblood. Benches have been cleared for, the whole quarter so far. AB said, won't surprise me if OKC are the 94 Sonics. Playoffs are funny. That would surprise me if they're the 94 Sonics. Look, they can definitely be beaten in a 7-game series. They will be heavy favorites in each of the matchups they go up against in the playoffs, but the Rockets could beat them in a 7-game series. The Spurs, I think, could beat them in a 7-game series. Speaking of, Denver can beat them in a 7-game series. I think the Knicks can beat them in a 7-game series. But all 4 of those teams are heavy underdogs. Everything would have to go perfect in order for you to beat this team. If the Thunder continue at this pace and they don't win an NBA championship, it will be more of a disappointing ending than the Warriors' disappointing ending when they won 73 games and they blew a 3-1 finals lead. It'll be more of a disappointing ending than that. Suns Jensen Stat was the man. Well, you could say that, Suns Jen, because he was the man for you guys. But he had a really good 30-game stretch for the Knicks and didn't do much after that. Jose NYC said, how do you spend money going to this game and feel like it was money well spent, even for an OKC fan? Because you got to get into the building and you got to enjoy your team. It's in OKC, so you got to enjoy your team, play extremely well, and then you got to walk around, maybe get some food. You probably went with either another person or a group of people. So you got to hang out with them and have a good time and chill and not be stressed out. Like that. It's a night out. Depending on how much you paid, it might be worth it. I don't think the Oklahoma City Thunder tickets are all that expensive, even though it is a cup game. You know, I know as Knicks fans, we view it and it's like, dude, didn't you spend like $800 to go to this basketball game? It's like, not every other city is like that. Official Dorado? What's up, official? They're dragging their butts? Yeah, brother. Yeah. It is a 50-point beatdown, my man. Sons Jen said, oh, that's true, sorry. Nah, it is what it is. I love Damari for, you know, the like 30, 40 game stretch he gave us. No, another lob to Brandon Carlson, and these young Suns don't got nothing, man. I don't know if they've ever even played in a game together, so they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Brandon Carlson and Jalen Williams just light them up. Nigel Hayes Davis, or is that Fleming? Fleming throws up an air ball. Here come the Thunder. Son Jen said, like Randy Johnson, he came to New York past his prime. He was still in his prime. It was just the injuries. You know, he got injured again, and then after that point, they made the Melo trade, and then he was never the same after that, right? Even if he, you know, would go through a stretch with the Knicks where he'd start to pick it back up again, he'd get derailed with more injuries. So he was still like in his prime. It's just the injuries never allowed him to build the traction back up, and you know, never got back on track. KNR said, "Are we talking to Mari?" We are talking to Mari now. We are talking to Mari at this point. Two minutes to go, y'all. We're almost out of here. We're going to be moving on right to the Lakers taking on the San Antonio Spurs, but we're almost out of here. Under 2 minutes to go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. We're going to have enough time to maybe even go through the pregame of the next game. Step back three for Ousmane Dieng. I was talking smack about Ousmane Dieng, but here he is hooping. That's his third three. He's got 11 points. Ooh, yeah, over to Malawak. Malawak knocks down the floater. There you go, Malawak. Give him something. You know, I said he was so exciting before the injuries. He was, man. He was. That 30, 40 game stretch was beautiful. Beautiful. That was a fun time. Susan said, just let the clock run out. I'm trying. We got a minute to go, a little over a minute. Let's make sure our score is correct, though. It is 89 to 138. Jumper for Kenrich Williams. Brandon Carlson with the offensive rebound. Another three for Ousmane Dieng. He misses that one. AV said the Hollywood Fakers, they're lined up for the next one. Oh, I can't believe I allowed this game to sap my energy. We're going to have to pick it back up. We're going to have to somehow get excited again. Hopefully that game has an exciting start. $40 seconds to go. 40 seconds. I am going to hit the end on this stream. This stream is going to immediately ask you if you'd like to go to the next stream. We will be covering the game right after this, which will be the Spurs taking on the Lakers. No Wembanyama, just so you guys know in advance. And now the Thunder will finally wind down the clock to dribble it out, and that will be the end of it. So real quick, if you are not going to join us on the next stream, I just want to say shout out to all of the channel members. As usual, appreciate you guys. The final score tonight will be 89 to 138. Absolute beatdown. They're only going to lose by 49 points. So at least they saved themselves from the 50-point beatdown. 24-1, Justice Dad. Absolutely, 24-1. 2026 said Knicks are the only team capable of beating OKC. I don't agree with that, but I do believe that they are capable if everything goes their way. But here we go. That is the end of the game. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this one. We're going to go jump right into the next stream, which will be the Spurs taking on the Suns. So join us if you would like. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. Let's get right to it.